Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to Legacy Division on the WOR channel. We are here tonight for round number 9 of the championship, as of course we've taken the second sprint of the season. It's the Bahrain Grand Prix from the Sakhir International Circuit. You can't see my name, but you know my name by now. It is James Head, and I'm going to be taking you through the stream, of course, as always, on this fine Tuesday evening. And joining me in the commentary box, Flying Scotsman 2.0, it is Mr. Ross Greenhorn. Ross, how you doing?
Very good. Welcome back, everyone. Another week of racing in the WOR Legacy Division. Well, the last few weeks have been nothing but action-packed. That collision last week between the two TBA drivers of Reese Linton and Kai Pearson, both returning tonight, looking to redeem themselves after what was a very poor incident late on in the Mexican Grand Prix. But S7R picking up some really good form in this championship fight with Outplayed Racing. And not to count out to be announced just yet, so still yet to get a name. But once they do get that name, I'm sure they'll be kicking on and really trying to get a late title charge on.
Oh, yeah, definitely so. And of course, a repeat of what happened last week. Oh, that was a voice break and a half. Kian leading the way and winning, of course, last week in Mexico. Fantastic race towards the end of the race. If you didn't see that, go and watch it back after this one. Kian out on top from Louis Valentin in second, Keke in third. F7R beginning to really creep in on Outplayed Racing in terms of the championship. Volokong in fourth, Reese Linton in fifth. He got very unlucky, I've got to say, in the TBA team last week. Then Arch Grimbles, Marcadors, Urpec, Magician top 10, Aroka, Ogwin, Tales, and then Pearson and Gabble filling out the 15 drivers that can fit on the graphic. Looking at the championship standings as well coming into tonight. All the drivers are in the lobby. We're just waiting on them to ready up, which they are doing right about now. Outplayed Racing, though, leading the way on 270 points, 30 points clear of F7R in second on 240. Then a huge chasm of a gap to Novus Racing in third on 173. Bunga Racing Team fourth on 158. Then Team Chazoo in fifth on 150. F1 Esports in sixth on 145. Then it's pretty close between G League and Parnell Racing, 7th and 8th, 143 and 142. The to be announced teams still yet to be announced. I promised this last week. I'll promise it again next week, I think, if they're not announced by now. 112 points for them in 9th, ET8 in 10th on 77, then Future Racing Team in 11th on 61, and Nexus Racing, of course, now defunct, in 12th on 35 points. But Ross, OP leading F7R with 30-point advantage. F7R, though, have taken the last 2 wins. How can Outplayed Racing back up, basically, into tonight, and can they win again?
They've just got to go out there and do their very best. You know, every week they try it, but they've just had a pretty off week. Recently, last week was a little bit better. Obviously, Louis finishing on the podium, Marcadors not having the greatest of race either beside him. So they've really just got to come out the block strong this race and really do well, get some good points in the sprint race. Obviously, it's not a lot of points, but it does help always in a massive championship battle. 30 points is all that separates those two. So yeah, really interesting one. See how that one goes. But I'm really mainly interested in this battle for third, James. Novice Racing, Bunga Racing Team, Team Shazoo, NLR Esports, G League, and Parnell Racing. Obviously, no longer Parnell, but to be announced. Closing up to those guys ahead as well. Such a brilliant midfield battle for third place. Novice Racing have really got to try and defend that, with Bunga Racing Team and Team Shazoo really chasing them down tonight.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously with Parnell now gone within the WOR Legacy division, it is the third down to 7th that you're watching on board with, and there's only 30 points separating them coming into tonight. One big result for G League or NLR could really now put the cat amongst the pigeons, put them up essentially into third position. You'd be wanting to know as well who was racing here tonight for Legacy Division. Well, there is the grid updated with Kian joining in for F7R replacing Taicho Hardy. Sav and Kai, though, are in for the to-be-announced team. Mubarak and Louis Valentin in for Outplayed Racing. Then Brandox and Mateo in for ET8. Strong lineup potentially for them around here. Ghost King and Grimbo's in for G League. Then Kian and Urpec in for F7R. Ruti and Tom in for Team Shazoo. Then Gabor and Louis, who's got a qualifying ban, in fact, with BRT, so you will not be seeing him in this 18-minute qualifying session. Harvey and Justin in for FRT. Then Tales and Kart Racer making his debut in for NLR in the Legacy Division. And Stonks and Axe in for NVR as well. And let's have a look quickly at, of course, the track map before we see the track map out on track. 15 corners, 5.4 kilometres length, 3.3 miles, 3 DRS zones, 1 down the start finish straight in towards turn number 1, 1 up the hill and towards turn number 4, and then 1 in towards turn 11 down the old GP2 pit straight, and where, of course, they start off to go into the desert part of the circuit. But we are getting now the first cars out on track. MVR Stonks is one of the first. Kian is the first man, though, out on track. And, of course, a change-up from what we've been used to in recent weeks. Legacy Division now short qualifying for tonight, then it's the sprint, then it's the feature race. So a change up in the settings. Going to be interesting, certainly, to see how the drivers now provide, especially given that they're going to have to run on a set of soft compound tyres.
Yeah, well, I've seen reports before this saying the tyre wear is still really, really poor around these night circuits in the sprint races. So it really is going to be interesting to see how the pit stop strategy goes for these engineers. It's going to be a tough one for them. Making the right call. It could be a possible 3-stop, maybe even just a 2-stop, but really it's going to be what you're going to gamble on. But yeah, Keane leading the way currently for F7R, really late sub out for them, only done about 5-10 minutes ago for F7R. It was really going to be F7R Taicho, but Keane being subbed in late, that is him not able to race in Canada now after doing 3 of the last 3, but yeah, Keane on some really good form, looking to pick up another race win today, which would really give F7R a massive opportunity to take the race, the championship lead, into after the Canadian Grand Prix. But Output Racing are not went out tight tonight. OP Louis Valentine and OP Mubarak as well, 2 fantastic drivers, but a big miss tonight has got to be MVR Liam Bowman. Arguably his strongest track, was really strong around here, an EOR, a cross player. They had a really good race there. He won that race, 2 of the OP guys behind him, so really a big miss for MVR, but you cannot counteract F1 and Stonks just yet either.
No, definitely not. Definitely not indeed. Keane is no longer actually the first man out on track. Stonks has actually gone past him on a lap. So Rodden Bullwin then with the NVR man now coming through the right-hander at turn number 14 and indeed through the right-hander at turn number 15 as well. So NVR Stonks now preparing up on this lap. James mentioned in the chat as well that BRT Lou is called Lucifer and not Louis. I thought I could get away with Louis, to be honest. That was me being smart. On the run down in towards turn number 1 with Stongs in towards the right-hander and then the left king of turn number 2. And then turn number 3, Nikita Mazepin's corner where he spun, of course, in 2021. As now comes up the hill in towards turn number 4. The slight rise really now effective on this track. Now through the right-hander of turn number 4. The old layout on the left-hand side if they want to go out into the desert. Stongs still going right, 28.2 in the first sector. Not looking too bad at all from the NVR man as he now comes in towards the right-hander of turn number 6 and 7. And now through in toward the double left of turns 9 and 10. Yes, I've miscounted corners. I don't care. Coming in towards the left-handers, though, of turn 9 and 10. My favourite corners out on the track. Very nicely done by Stonks. Now open up the third DRS zone on the run down in towards the left-hander of turn number 11. This is looking very good, I've got to say, in terms of this lap from Stonks. Looking very, very good. Potentially producing a stonking lap, you could almost say, as well. The game audio apparently is dead, so hang on, give me a second. That is my Elgato actually messing up. There we go. That might have just kicked now into gear once again, and Stonks is in towards the right-hander of turn number 14 and then 15 at the final corner as he now comes through this final corner, and we'll have a look at the timing tower. He's the first man to come out on track as now Stonks on the run to the line. Should be around a 27.3. It is indeed a 27.3 from Stonks. Good lap from him, but we'll see drivers in the 26.9 very soon indeed.
Yeah, looking at a really fast start to this qualifying. Stonks there, Keane just in behind Shizu. Tom now into the 27.4s as well as teammate being Shizu Rutihul in behind the 27.6. Now his fastest time ever, to be fair. The BRT driver of Gabor next season validated across the line there. The Red Bull of Kai Pearson or Reese Linton. It's going to be Reese Linton first. He's across the line with a 27.1. Can Kai Pearson one up him this time with a DRS to the line? It's also got one upped by his teammate. It's our usual TBA 1-2 with Kai Pearson and Reese Linton early as well. F7R Airpack. We get another race for him for F7R, his newest team originally at NLR. Now back in F7R, had a race last time out, not having the greatest of times, but looking to bounce back this race. He crossed the line and is into 4th place with a 27.3.
Frenchman Grimbles as well, looking good, goes 8th position, 27.6, not a bad lap there at all from him. Harvey as well, 106.1 in the middle sector, so slightly down on what we just saw there with Grimbles. Mubarak there going 3rd, Padgoat of course this time tonight. Harvey on the run to the line goes 11th ahead of Brandox for ETA. Matteo very strong around this track, not looking strong in the middle sector though, 106.1 coming to the line, 27.7, so not a bad lap there at all from him. But watch out for him in the race, has picked up race wins around here, has picked up podiums around here as well. Matteo definitely one to watch out for a little bit later on in the session. BRT Gabbles is backing off on a lap. I think he's just run out of fuel there. Car race for NLR now on the run to the line. Currently 17th with no laps. 15th position, 27.8. Not a bad lap there at all. But it is same old from last night. MPSGL against the WOR event. Kai Pearson out on top from Reese Linton in 2nd. Mubarak there in 3rd. A good lap from Kai Pearson. But when the track evolves, the tyres will evolve with it. And we should see, as I say, drivers 27 nines, 27 eights, 26 nines, 26 eights, 26 sevens towards the end of the session, certainly. And because it's only an 18-minute qualifying session, that will really put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Yeah, no, I'd really be interested to see what kind of times these guys can do. Really good start, though, from TB, as you said, last night, really strong around Monza and that PSGL versus WR. WR did walk away with the win in the end, but yeah, as you stated, James, not the cleanest of races that we have seen ever in terms of, the highest quality race between the two leagues, but it was still interesting, still very fun to watch in the end. But yeah, Rhys Linton and Kai Pearson never disappoint when it comes to an F1 track. But yeah, no one on a lap currently. We see everyone go back into the pits, get themselves ready again, and go for it once more. But yeah, we really should be seeing people into the 26s on their next laps. I look at Kai Pearson, Rhys Linton, and Opie Mubarak as well. The only 3 drivers to break that 0.1 barrier just now. Stonks up there in 4th at the 27.3, with Erpig and Louis also in the 0.3. So yeah, you can see a bit of a split between 3rd and 4th. But once that time starts going and that track evolves a bit more, it'll be really, really close at the top.
Oh, it will be very, very close on the top indeed. And Opek as well, of course, now in PSF1, PSF2 champion, of course, last season. He's there in 5th position. That, of course, was in PSGL where he picked up that. Joseph saying about the sprint grip. Yeah, the sprint grip is going to be very interesting indeed. In terms of the feature race as well, potential for 3 stops. Crispy, I'm not sure if he was actually kidding there in terms of saying that in the chat a little bit earlier on. But apparently 3 stops might be the order of the day. I certainly think it'll be 2 stop strategies. Not 3 stops, I don't think, but it depends on how the drivers really get on out on track. Max Vissel there saying in the chat, PCF2 man, of course, for PSGL moving forward. Okay, I know that with sprint, but I had no idea they have a sprint. WTF. Yeah, it is a sprint race. It's the second one of the season. The first one, I believe, was in Qatar, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll have a quick check at the calendar to second guess myself. Yes, it was Qatar on the 19th of September, so about a month ago now. Canada, of course, next week, with the maple leaves all falling and down. Tom, though, the first man out on track right now in terms of the right-hander in towards turn number 8, thanks to where Lance Stroll was hanging like a cow in 2021 as well. But Tom coming through that nonchalantly. He has hit recent form, winner, of course, in Console Tier 1 last week. Can Tom regain his composure and regain that form that we got robbed of, I think, that in last night's event, certainly, because he was up there and then got forced into the gravel about 3 times in Monza?
Yeah, I know he was up really high at the front, and as you said, just caught up an instance a lap or 2 later, they shut them all the way back down. But yeah, his talent is unheard of, and he is doing really well for Team Shizou. As you said, crossplay Tier 1 winner, was it the cleanest race ever in Console Tier 1? Probably not, but you're never going to look at that. You always look at who came out in the top step, and Tom did have a fantastic race in the end, got through the pack nicely, and picked up that, I believe it was his first Tier 1 race win. So, yeah, Tom's got a really good chance here at trying to confirm himself a bit higher than P7. He definitely knows himself that he's got this good lap. And on the track, getting a little bit busier now, though, in that first sector, possible traffic could be hitting the Team Shizou driver, but through the final 2 corners he comes in, he's set himself up for what will be a second fastest lap attempted, hopefully into the 26s.
Yeah, let's see on board then with the Shizou man of Tom. We'll turn the timing timer from the left-hand side just to see through the first part of his lap. We'll turn it on as we go forward, of course, through his session and through his lap as Tom now comes down in towards the right-hander of turn number 1. Nice, he's done a little bit of a rear lock, actually, through turn number 1. Then through the left-hander of turn number 2, through the right-hander now of turn number 3. Not looking too bad, but that rear lock might have just sent him back slightly in towards now, uphill in towards the right-hander now of turn number 4. It's not looking too bad so far from Tom, as now comes through the part of turn number 4, then in towards 5, 6, and 7. The 28.4 in the first sector, so not actually too bad there from the Shizou man of Tom's. He comes through that part of the lap, now coming through the right-hander now turn number 8, and then towards the left-hander turn number 9 and 10. It's so far so good, I think, in terms of Tom, in terms of this lap. This comes now through the left-hander turn number 10. Apologies if you are experiencing a few frame rate issues. My laptop is overheating slightly, so if you are seeing that on the stream, don't worry, it's not your end, it's my end, and it is just normally the same on a Tuesday night. As Tom now comes through the left-hander of turn number 11, then into the right-hander turn number 12. Ferrari off the left-hand side, they're just getting out the way as Tom now hits the traffic into towards his middle sector. But he's 200s down, not a great middle sector from Tom, needs to find a bit of time.
Yeah, no, really did lost a lot of time in that middle sector, but possible chance of gaining a lot in this final 2 corners. Bit of traffic ahead, won't affect him as he comes through the final corner up in the 4th gear, rides out that carbon exit at turn number 15, and to come across the line. No, he will not come across the line. He'll dive into the pit lane. He wasn't happy with how that lap went. I'm sure everyone else would agree. A couple of drivers just starting off their laps there at XF1. for novice racing. The two Red Bulls as well of Kai Pearson and Reese Linton. There's another Williams car there of MVR Stonks just starting. He's a couple of drivers a little bit further ahead on some laps. It's F7R Airpeck is flying on through this lap quite nicely. In the middle sector now, see down the hill he comes, really one of the harder corners to hook up the braking perfectly. You have to up the brake bias a little bit to not cause yourself to rear lock into that corner, but he does it nicely. And down the straight he goes towards this long straight. Not a usual overtaking place, but turn number 11 is one of the harder corners to attack. You've got to go back up the hill. It's going to be a swinging far right-hander of turn 12. You want to clip that curve on the inside. And turn number 13 attacking you now. Back down the hill you come with all the straight line speed and a great little traction zone to get a good amount of traction on exit. And down the small straight you come. No DRS to assist you on any sort of overtake. BRT Gabor jumping up into 5th place now for Bunga Racing Team. F7R Airpick though, on it's just his second race for his team. Through he comes at the final corner now. Is he going to beat? No, he's not. He's actually going to dive into the pit lane as well. James, everyone having some trouble.
Yeah, really wide actually that was from Uppbeat coming through the final couple of corners. Mubarak hopefully not hitting the bump like he did on social media, coming down through the left-hander of turn number 11 into the right-hander of turn number 12. Stonks, by the way, did improve on his lap, 27.180 from a 27.321. Mubarak, however, now responding. He comes through the middle sector. Kai Pearson goes quickest. Might not be for long, though, because Mubarak is actually up on Kai Pearson's middle sector. Coming in now towards the right-hander of 14 and 15. Reese Linton about to come across the line as well. He's coming through the final part of the lap. I think he's actually coming down the hill and towards turn 14. Mubarak now in toward the line. Is he going to go quicker than Kai Pearson? No. Barely a hair's breadth between them, though. Only 700ths of a second. Reese Linton, though, has backed off his lap, so that is him done. He is back into the pit lane. Stonks as well is invalid as well. Gabor, you mentioned there, improving into 6th. Axe is looking good. The NVR man at 10th up. I think he's actually just backed off that lap, so he goes there into 7th. Kart Race as well, backing up. Kian was one of the earliest to set a lap actually there, and he's gone down into 10th position. And same lap times in behind from Tom and Ruti. Shazoo definitely cooking in terms of their time so far. But Kai Pearson out on top. Louis Valentin in 2nd. Mubarak there in 3rd. Louis now splitting the pair of Kai Pearson and Mubarak. With still the final runs to go, this is very much interesting indeed. Mateo, by the way, is actually on a lap right now in the Mercedes. Did say watch out for him. He's 2.5 tenths up in the middle sector with a 105.8. So this is much better for Mateo. Is he now going to try and trouble the top end of the field? Time will only tell. The Mercedes now comes in towards the right-hander of turns 14 and then through the right-hander of turn number 15. Of course, race winner around 2 EML Premier back in the day. Mateo now on the run to line for ET8. Does he go quicker? No, he goes 13th in the end. A little bit disappointing, but he actually sets the same lap time as Tom and Ruti. You cannot get any closer than that.
Well, 0 separates you there between those 3 drivers, and I tell you what, one of them will definitely be improving on their lap. Who it is, I do not know. But Louis Valentine, though, an absolute flyer of a lap there during that middle sector. He flew through that middle sector. I just watched him on as he finished it off. It was absolutely flying. You see the gap there between the front 3. OP really sent a statement early on, though, to the S7Rs 8 and 10th. 2nd and 3rd for Outplayed Racing. A massive opportunity to take some, very little points, but big points in terms of a championship battle for Outplayed Racing. Kai Pearson, though, still flying out there. He lost a bit of time in the first sector, so he might be able to find a bit more in that first sector and possibly everywhere else once the track ramps up that little bit more. With 3 minutes 30 left. Twitch, YouTube chat, I want to see what you want to say. Who is getting pole position? Will Kai Pearson hold on to it? Will it be an OP 1-2 in the end? Reese Linton also got some time in his lap. MVR Stonks, as you said, looking fast as well. Let's see it then from the rest of the grid. 3 minutes to go. Who's going to get pole?
Oh, Mubarak's been held up actually in the pit lane here. I think he's got enough time to come back in and then get another lap in, but that is not going to do the Outplayed Racing team at all well in terms of that. Mateo, by the way, is just backing off his lap. He is not going to be actually setting another lap, I don't think. It's going to be a little bit too late for him to try and get out on track. But Kai Pearson leading the way from Louis Valentin in 2nd. Mubarak there in 3rd. I'm going to jump ship immediately and say that Reese Linton, I think, is going to be on pole position. 27.1, still on the same lap time as what he set. He was backing off in the middle and final sector after invalidating. So Reese has got something in that lap, something in that Red Bull that I don't think anyone else has. So I'm predicting him for pole position. I'll go Kai Pearson for 2nd. I am an absolute godsend, I think, for the to-be-announced team right now. And for 3rd, I am going to go for Mubarak, because I know he is set to 26.9 in practice coming into this session. Can he repeat that, though, here tonight with the increased grip? Only time will tell. Remember as well, in terms of the point system, in terms of the sprint, and in terms, of course, of the feature race, different for both. Sprint race points are as follows. I'm just trying to scroll through the rulebook just to try and find them right now. Give me a second. They are here somewhere. It is, there we go. 12 points for the win, then 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 point in terms of the sprint points. And after 75% race distance, of course, it is full amount of points. 40, 32, 27, 22, 18, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for the feature race as well. Got that. I'm sure it'll be tagged in the lobby very, very soon indeed. But Stonks is going to be one of the first to come out on a lap. 5th position, 27.180. Are we going to see drivers improve towards the end of the session, though, Ross, with this grip level now beginning to fade towards the end of the session?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the grip will be at maximum point now for the drivers. 2 Haas cars of FRT out nice and early. MVR Stonks also out early. Let's see it though from Stonks. He rounds out the final corner for 1 second last time, should I say, sorry, turn 15, getting all the way down the straight with the maximum straight line speed possible. You're only running pretty low downforce around here, but not too low that you've got enough downforce to get through that middle sector where all the time can be lost and can be gained. In the turn when he comes in, a massive traction zone coming up here. See, oh no, Shizou Tom with a 5-place grip penalty. That was going to be, sadly, it's going to be a restart for after this. But MVR Stonks still flying on down with his lap there in Sector 1 as he comes towards us. Sector 1 to split line very soon through turn number 4. Very nicely, actually, through that right-hander. You see him there coming at the start, only very, very slightly up on his lap so far. Not enough to move him up into P4, but enough to improve on his lap so far. 10 hundreds is not enough to make a move up to P4, but he carries on through this lap at turn number 8 and up the hill towards turn number 9. Into turn 10, he comes in down the hill, taking the tyres nicely, dropping the third gear nice and late, maybe a bit wider of the apex, but keeps it nicely going. Big slide through turn 10, but down the straight he comes to the DRS open in that Williams car. Turn 11, the uphill section coming up soon towards the end of the middle sector. Now the 2 FRT cars are behind them, trying to see if they can improve on their laps in 17th and 19th. MVR Stonks though, still flying on his lap. Can he be any higher up in the middle sector? Oh, again, only slightly up in that middle sector. We just can't seem to find the time anywhere. James, it's looking like not really an improvement for MVR Stonks. What about the rest of the field?
Yeah, definitely. So Stonks is improving just about. He can try and find something in the final sector, but it's not that good so far from him as he goes wide through the final corner. That is him done in terms of his lap. I don't think he's going to improve. He doesn't. Luckily, if he did improve, I think he would have been knocked down a peg or two. Reese Linton's a 10th.5 down in the first sector. So Reese Linton not finding. Louis Valentine not finding in the first sector either. Kai Pearson not finding. He's just re-locked in towards turn number 10. This is going to be potentially opening up for further down the field, like Urpex for Kart Racer, for Kian potentially, for example. And Urpex, speaking of which, is a 10th.5 up in the middle sector, coming toward the line now, on board with the F7R man. Are we going to see him improve? Yes, we do. He goes 5th position, splits actually Reese Linton and Stonks. Axter going to the line to go in 8th position, so good lap from him. Kart Racer as well is improving. Follow through with Reese Linton and Kai Pearson very soon. Reese Linton found time in the middle sector. Huge middle sector from Reese Linton, a 1 of 5.617. Not good enough, though, to go pole position. Needs to find a 10th of a second from somewhere. Coming in through these final 2 corners. Got to basically take the thin line. Coming through the final corner. Goes Reese Linton. Kai Pearson didn't improve. Louis Valentine is in second. Gabor, by the way, improved. Reese Linton, though, on the run to line. Goes quickest. 26.999. Not the number he's going to be ringing, hopefully a little bit later on. But Reese Linton's out on top. It's Kai Pearson in second. Louis Valentine in third. And who predicted the top 3? Thank you very much.
Very, very good ending to qualifying for to be announced. And well, did you expect anything less? Reese Linton, a full 10th found in that lap where it looked like it was not many places to really gain time again. He just found it all back, and well, a 26.999 speaks for itself. Kai Pearson though, 2nd place as well, just in behind, not able to improve on his lap. OP Louis Valentine and 3rd place Gabor for Bunga Racing Team up there in 4th place as well. Mubarak didn't make the line. He couldn't improve his lap. He possibly had a bit more time in his lap as well, but couldn't make it in the end. Airpex 6th, MVR Stonks in 7th. Shizou Rutagula did improve in the end with 8th, Keen in 9th, and XF1 will round out the top 10 starting positions. Only the top 8 though score points in the sprint qualifying, but Reese Linton and Kai Pearson off to a fantastic start so far tonight.
Yeah, definitely so. Of course, illegal blocking penalties will be removed as well. Running out the rest of the grid as well. Kart Racer, Tales, then Brandox, Harvey, Tom, top 15, then Mateo, Grimbles, Justin, Ghost King, and then Lou, of course, for that qualifying ban toward the back end of the field. Looking through, it looks like we are going to get a restart right now after this sprint. So what we will do is roll the adverts. We will send you on a bit of an intermission break while we get the lobby and everything sorted. And we'll come back to you after sponsored advertisements, of course, from GridFinder and from Next Level Racing. You don't want to see the drivers crashing out on track. Trust me. We'll be back, though, in probably about a minute and a half's time. Welcome back, everyone, to Legacy Division. Thank you so much for waiting and for waiting patiently. We're about to get going out on track. Everyone has been set in terms of the lobby, and that means we can actually take you through the championship standings coming into tonight as well. Outflight Racing, of course, remember, leading the way on 270 points. Good qualifying session from them, of course, being ahead of F7R, which is very interesting indeed. F7R, of course, in second on 240, only 30 points separating. Then a big chasm of a gap of I make it 67 points between Novus and F7R for second and third. Bunga Racing Team in fourth on 158, and Shazoo in fifth on 150. NLR in sixth on 145. G League in seventh on 143. Parnell Racing in eighth on 142. The to be announced team in ninth on 112. They won't be there for that long, trust me. Easy 8 in 10th on 77, Future Racing Team in 61, and Nexus Racing Team in 12th on 35 points. The drivers are going to be readying up very soon indeed. Plenty of support there being shown for Gabor in the chat. Gabor, of course, part of the BRT team here tonight, Ross. And Outplay Racing actually outqualifying F7R. Big talking point because F7 have taken the last two wins, the last two feature race wins. Keenan, of course, last week. Louis Valentine, of course, has won in Singapore and Monaco. So both of them even potentially coming into tonight, and both drivers up there.
Yeah, no, both drivers up there really able to try and outscore F7R, outplayed Canby. If where they are right now, I'll say Louis up there in third place with Barrack and fifth place ahead of Airpick and ahead of Keegan, crucially. So, you know, it's really going to be a case of can they get through this race cleanly, pick up some good little amount of points for their championship charge, and hopefully have an even better race. But with Kai Pearson and Reese Linton ahead of them, it's going to give Louis a really hard time in trying to pick up even more points for his team. But not to count out just yet either, to be announced 112 points recently. If they keep scoring like they are, it really could be a very late title charge for those guys, yet to get a brand for them. But the to be announced team really is not one to be reckoned with.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, Kai Pearson and, of course, Reese Linton in charge of the to be announced. It'd be interesting, actually, because this is their third race that both of them are actually going to be taking part in for Legacy Division. So it really begs the question, who is actually going to be running in for next week? And that is the big question I think we're going to be on our lips throughout the entire of the next week, and then going forward, of course, for the to be announced team, and hopefully we get a bit of confirmation about what they're going to be called going forward as well, because I think to be announced, yes, it has a good ring to it. I'd rather call them a different name, to be honest. I think it's not a very good name for an esports team, put it that way. But we are going to get going very soon indeed. The drivers are just readying up, I believe, within the lobby very soon. The grid is being set. We're going to have to restart again after the sprint, because sprint race, of course, where you finish in the sprint is different to where you finish and where you qualified. So I believe we are going to be starting again potentially after this. So if that is the case, we're going to be having a little bit of an interesting conversation, I'm sure, around that. But what we can do as well is remind everyone of the track, of the grid coming into tonight. Sav and Kai, of course, in for the to be announced team. Mubarak and Louis in for Outplayed Racing. Bronox and Mateo in for ET8. Ghost King and Grimbo's in for G League. Kian and Urpek in for F7R. Then Ruti, former NLR driver, teaming up with Tom for Team Chazoo. Gabor and Lou, of course, Lou the Brit, having a qualifying ban, not the Romanian. You've done me in there, James, in the chat. Harvey and Justin in for FRT. Tallers and Kart Racer in for NLR, and then Stonks and Axe there for NVR as well. Of course, a very, very decent grid. We can now ready up. The drivers are going to be getting into the lobby very soon indeed. But of course, in terms of that qualifying, remember, it's a sprint race. There's only 10 laps. There's enhanced grip levels. Are we going to see potential difference in terms of the tyres here tonight in the sprint?
Yeah, no, it really is a possibility. Mediums or softs is really the big question here. Obviously, drivers know the softs wear out really, really fast. But if you can build up that bit of a higher gap at the start, they might not be able to drop off as much. But, you know, if you can stick in the train with a medium compound tyre, the last 2 or 3 laps could be absolutely amazing for you on that yellow compound tyre. It really could be an interesting one towards the end. But, yeah, it really is all about, if you're going to be in the medium, stick with the soft guys. If you're a soft guy, you've got to break away. You've got to use that battery, use your straight line speed, and see what kind of gap you can pull to the car behind. On the other hand, the Reese Linton and Kai Pearson last week had a bit of trouble in towards a turn one. Certain driver rear-ended his teammate, and it cost him big points in the end for it to be announced. So hopefully this week that can be a little bit different if we're going to work together towards turn one this time.
Yeah, definitely. So, a bit of communication, by the way, from Luke in the Discord. If the grid is wrong for the race, we will restart with a sprint. Park Premier will be off, so you will have 2 chances to load the setup. That is after this sprint race. So, if the grid is wrong for the feature, then we will restart with a sprint race. Of course, drivers will retire from that sprint and then get into the feature race with their correct lineup, which is going to be very difficult to try and coordinate because everyone's going to stay in the same positions off the grid start, which is going to be entertaining for us and entertaining for you guys at home as well. Hopefully you won't get to see that though on this point. Crispy saying in the chat as well, time to load our custom sprint setup for this very specific scenario. Possibly TBA are going to be cooking with Crispy at the helm, but who are you guys picking for the race, for the win in the sprint? I'm going to immediately jump up and say Louis Valentin for the win in the sprint.
I'm going to go boring. I'm going to go Reese Linton. I think Reese Linton will just run away with it here and take a victory. Maybe Kai Pearson as well. Maybe Louis Valentine if he ends up sticking in. But with Louis having to work through probably 2 of the strongest drivers on the grid tonight, it really is a big task. Ask for a win. But never count out the Frenchman. We know he does like picking up some late manoeuvres and races, especially like last week. He picked up a late manoeuvre for 2nd place in the last lap. And well, if he keeps doing that, he could be in a good position to be scoring good points for outplayed racing tonight.
Yeah, definitely. So looking through the chat, Liam Boot saying 1-2 for TBA. I wouldn't put it past me certainly if they get a 1-2. I have a feeling though they may make a little bit of contact in towards turn number 1, which is why I'm going Louis Valentin for the win. Car race Tato there saying car racer for the win. Marcel Ulstad, of course, Schumacher there for saying Gabor for P1. Springian there in the chat saying as well, or Springian I should say, in the chat. I think one of the F7R guys will get a podium potentially. I think it'll be Kian that might get the podium. Bell Roffick saying in the chat as well, Harvey Malian will win with a 2-1 in ecology, and Joel's just came in with a little bit of a dig in, I'm sure, for Sunderland. Speaking of 2-1, that's my score prediction for tonight. Well, I've gone 2-1 elsewhere for Sunderland to win against Leicester. Currently 0-0, 10 minutes gone. Hopefully Joel is enjoying how we're playing football right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Joe's will be following along with both games tonight, with the F1 World Race and also the Leicester v Sunderland. I know James said you're a big Sunderland fan, so you'll be looking forward to that game as well. But bigger things happening on the track tonight. We should be reading up in about 1 minute's time. I see a couple of people saying Gabor P1 as well. Yeah, never count out a BRT Gabor push for a charge for the lead as well. He likes to have a good little race, but with his teammate all the way at the back, it is a big ask. To do everything himself, but he is surrounded by OP, he's surrounded by Reese Linton and Kai Pearson, MVR Stonks and Airpeg as well, needing to score points for their teams. It's a massive race for so many teams tonight, but sprint coming up shortly. James, I'll let you take it away as soon as it's ready.
Yeah, definitely so indeed. 57 is the time for Ready Up, and 57 it is indeed. So we are going to be seeing the drivers out on track very soon indeed. For the sprint race, of course, the front row of the grid. Going to be very interesting to see who gets the better start out of the two, and who, of course, can try and gain positions from the outset. Here we go. The five riders about to go out for the sprint here in Bahrain. Sprint race number 2 about to begin, and it is... Lights out and away we go. Reese Linton gets a stronger start. Kai Pearson in the second phase might draw alongside the win towards turn number 1. Louis Valentin is right within the slipstream of the back of Kai. In towards turn number 1 we go. To be announced, well, I think, hold 1-2 as it comes through turn 1 and then through turn 2. And Reese Linton gets the lead from Kai Pearson in second. Louis Valentin there in third. I think there's been contact further down the field. Grimbolds has been caught up in a little bit of squirmaging with Lou further down the field. Reese Linton, though, leads in towards turn number 4 up the hill. Bit of a dive bomb there from Kart Racer, who spins into the back of the Aston Martin and Gabor. Kart Racer certainly being spun as well, and we've got a VSC already. VSC deployed, and Kart Racer picks up a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Axe. You can see there on board with Stonks. He has got away with that scot-free. Axe certainly has as well, so he's actually got away with that scot-free. However, he is missing a total front wing on board with that car. He's on that set of medium compounder tyres as well, so Axe there down at 9th. Not a great start at all from the man from NVR.
Yeah, no, MVR Storm's chain reaction it was. He hit the back of BRT Gabor. Gabor really late into the corner, spun round, and it was nowhere for Kart Racer to go. He had to just take the wing damage. And also, Stonks does have some wing damage. James. That right end plate on the right hand side of the rear wing is gone. So he has to go to the pit lane and get that changed anyway. But massive collision and big points for MVR gone, it looks like, so far. But it looks like majority of the grid, and all of the grid actually, starting on medium compound of tyres. But crucially, James, both OP drivers through cleanly. Reese Linton and Kai Pearson have got a handful behind them.
Yeah, Stonks, by the way, has got right to limb plate damage as well. After that contact, so Stonks has got damage, Axe has got damage, NVR blowing up in front of our eyes, it seems, potentially in terms of that instant. We get back green underway and get on toward the end of lap 2 as Mubarak's looking for the move actually on the back of Louis Valentine there, coming across the line. Kai Pearson's on the back of Reese. I think they're going to hold on for P1 and 2 right now. All of the changes up and down the field for people coming in. Mubarak there looking to the inside line once again. However, that's Brandox to the inside line. That's the wrong man. Oh, and that's forceful there from Brandox on the inside of turn number 1. That was on the back of Kian. Kian just about gets away with that scot-free, but already a bit of a barging match out on track. It's almost as if they haven't learned from PSGL against WOR last night. It's Uppbeat diving it down the inside line of Brandox. That's how you complete a move. Good move from him. And Brandox actually just spied. He's got left side unplate damage on that car. So the Mercedes diving that on the inside of Kian. That is unfortunate for the E28 man. That now brings Ghost King and Justin up positions as well. But Reese Linton leading the way. Kai Pearson second. Louis Valentine there in third position. Gains Justin 11. Ghost King 11 as well. Fantastic stuff from them. Mateo gaining 7. Brandox letting everyone through, which is very fair. And that is Harvey trying to go around the outside. 2-1 in ecology. Who needs that as he goes around the outside of Tom to get the move done. Brilliant stuff from Harvey. Gets the job done. Tales that was as well. I think actually going around the outside of him. So Tales getting the job done. Thuney's into 10th. Harvey there in 11th. And Tom's just been done like an absolute kipper.
Yeah, Mateo also got wing damage as well on that right-hand side end plate. Big end plate damage from both ET8 drivers. It's so unlucky for them after a decent little qualifying. FRT Harvey looks to get past right about now, but he's going to get held up once more to this corner. Look at the DRS being dropped by Tails. Due to Mateo having that wing damage, he's going to be down into the pit lane, but Reese Linton at the front, still leading away from Kai Pearson behind. They have absolutely dropped, James, Louis Valentine and Mubarak, who are both out of the DRS range of each other as well. DRS now enabled on this lap. Just ahead though, GL Ghost King, with the move on FRT, Justin and Simon, Ghost King into the inside line. Early on, he gets it done at the apex, and it's Ghost King promoted up into P7, but don't count out Justin on another move into turn number 4 here, so he's got a DRS advantage on the French on the left-hand side.
Oh!
Justin with a straight line speed advantage, and the DRS here, he goes down to Kane as well. Big move up ahead. James, what's happened there?
That was contact actually between Kane and Mubarak. That was a bit forceful, to be honest. F7R and OP, another bit of contact. I saw that just in the foreground of shot as you were commentating on the battle behind. Kian, I think, almost as if they made contact down the straight in towards turn number 4. Bit of wheel banging going on, forcefully, nearly put Mubarak off into the left side wall. So lucky to actually gain that. Keen Thuney's into 4th, Mubarak there in 5th, Uppbeat there in 6th, but the rivalry in the blood between F7R and OP continues. Every point matters, even in the sprint race. Kean proving that he's into 4th on the back of Mubarak, and now everything beginning to settle down. Harvey though on the back of Tom, looking to the left hand of turn number 11, not going to get the job done coming through on there. Apologies by the way if you are experiencing a few frame rate issues. That is my laptop beginning to overheat again, so apologies about that. Reese Linton though leading the way, Kai Pearson 2nd, Louis Valentine in 3rd. Louis having to try and stick on as that is a mistake from the man in front. Reese Linton now under pressure from Kai Pearson, and Kai does now have a second opportunity for that. First opportunity given, and Kai Pearson 30's into the lead of the race after that mistake from Reese.
Yeah, I tell you what, Lewis having to use all of that battery that he's got in him. Just every time he goes into a corner, he's got to burn it right away because these two in front are just pulling away. They're just slingshotting each other with the DRS.
Oh,
Kai Pearson
no.
got 30%. Reese Linton as well. Big battle in that midfield, just said Tom, and oh no, the right tyre's been clipped there on FRT Justin from P9 down into P15. Big battle still going up ahead between Gabor and FRT. Harvey's now up into P9. So one FRT driver gains, one loses. Gabor into turn number 4 there. Had a bit loose on the rear. Kart racer also with a penalty as well due to that collision with BRT Gabor. He had nothing to do with it though, to be fair to Kart racer. He just got picked up in a collision with nothing to do with him. But crucially though, James F7R Kian back behind OP Mubarak.
Yeah, definitely so. Tom, by the way, that was 3 wide in towards turn number 1 on the inside of Brandox, I think it was. Brandox has now dropped to 17th. Mateo there down in 16th. Mateo was the one that's dropped positions as a result. Tom there in 12th position. But again, 3 into 1 into turn number 1 doesn't go. And again, it's as if they haven't learned from PSGL and WOR. And my criticism publicly on Twitter, I want to see the best driving, son, and so do you guys at home. We want to see better, and hopefully that can improve as the sprint goes on, and indeed as the feature race goes on as well. But you were mentioning that, yeah, Mubarak has dropped 3 seconds now off the back of Louis Valentine. Kian there in 5th, Urpek there in 6th. They're now about to do a bit of squabble down in towards turn 1. I think this is going to actually benefit Urpek more than it is Kian and Mubarak, because look at the double toe that he's going to get. Here he comes to the inside line on the back. Beautifully done by F7R. Urpek getting the block on. And that is Mubarak down into 6th position. He knew what was coming. I knew what was coming. And that is F7R gaining 2 positions for the price of 1.
Yeah, Gabor threw it on F1 Harvey as well. Into the first turn of Primo, taking opportunity. Look at Mubarak, looking to come right back at Urpek there. Into turn number 4. Making him go a little bit squirmish there on the entry to the corner. But Mubarak still sitting in behind Urpek and Kian. But his race pace not looking too good right now for the Ferrari. He keeps constantly dropping time to these guys ahead. But yeah, crucially, 3-second gap between Kian and OP Louis Valentine. Louis Valentine, he just cannot catch these two in front. The DRS is too powerful for these two in front. They're just gaining back ERS. They're just slingshotting off each other. Perfect teamwork between the two Red Bulls. But yeah, Louis Valentine, nothing he can do. His teammate not able there to assist him. Being overtaken by both Kian and the Urpek with that double slipstream slingshot you see down into turn number 1. But Mubarak in a really bad base country down in 6th place. Still gaining points, mind you. But yeah, F7R keeping it really close.
Yeah, and to be announced, of course, with Kai and Reese, of course, having their final race in Legacy Division. That's putting them in a 1-2 place for the sprint and indeed as well going forward for the feature. So this will be very, very good in terms of the point standings, in terms of the live point standings. We'll try and get them to you at the end of the stream. But here is Reese on the back of Kai Pearson. WOR Console Tier 1 battle drawn once again in towards turn 1 on lap 6 of the sprint. Job done for Reese. And he's into the lead of the race. Here comes Urpek as well on the back of Kian. Kian looking very vulnerable off the back of his teammate. That is job done for Urpek down and towards turn number 1. And that is job done through, and he's into 4th. And Tales also following through as well. The Brazilian for Next Level Racing through, and he's into 7th. Next Level Racing having a good race so far. Car Racer on the back with that 3-second penalty, however. Going to now put him down at the chute potentially. Lou, Tom, Grimbos, if they drop back, I think Car Racer will keep that position. There was a yellow flag through sector 3, and that is Ruti, I think, who's spun through the final corner. I think he's just spun on the exit curb, on the exit curb. So I think he's getting back going again, which is good. Ruti there down at 19. Not the day that Chizu wants so far. They're out of the points, of course. Only top 10 in the sprint do get points. So if you're FRT Harvey right now in 10th position, you've got Gabo in front of you, Car Racer behind, you'd be absolutely sweating, quite literally, in that car. Oh, that is Car Racer making a huge mistake in towards turn number 10, and Harvey can breathe a little bit easier now.
Yeah, you said it was sweating on his forehead, but never mind. After that, kart race was just an absolute disaster at turn number 10. He's having a big disaster again at turn number 11. He's having a terrible time, but there's Tom having to take the curtain to get past kart racer on the inside now. It's not going to happen for him on the Alpha Tauri ahead, but that Alpha Tauri is having a really hard time through these tough middle sector corners. You can see the grip level is dropping away with every single corner for these drivers. Maybe the first drop off might have hit just about now for the medium compound tires, just causing them to lose a lot of time. Reese Linton and Guy Pearson so in positions once again, and Louis Valentine though just constantly losing time to the guys ahead. Kian and Urpek have got to work together to see if they can gain any time to the guys ahead, but got to be careful though, because Mubarak behind could be very dangerous as well. But F40 Harvey through on BRT Gabor back up into P9.
Yeah, FLT Harvey really showing good pace, I've got to say. Gabor, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he might have right to end plate damage on the car. Maybe a winglet missing. Certainly to my naked eye, it looks like there's a bit of damage on that car. Coming through there, he looks fine coming through turn number 4, but I think it's through left-sided corners where he will really feel the effect. So this part of the section out on track, if he does have damage, would have affected him. And if it is, it's only very, very minimal indeed for the BRT man. But that was easy from Harvey. Thurney's into 9th position. Now beginning to breathe a little bit easier. And actually maybe focusing ahead on Ghost King and Tales, which would be very, very good indeed. Malone saying in the chat, why is it the same pattern as Red Bull did with Freddie for the Bahrain Invitational? Yeah, it's a bit boring now than fun, but put it this way. I'd rather see these two battle for individuality and for the individual race win than actually playing the team game. Because they can easily play the 1-2 right now, Kai and Reese. These two have been good rivals in console tier 1. That's why they're fighting for the win. It's not personal tonight between them, but I guarantee you that battle in console tier 1 this season has been personal.
Yeah, that console tier 1 battle went right to the very end. Also, there's one race left, but there's a vote, I believe, to see if they actually want to do that last round or not. But even still, though, that console tier 1 battle was really, really good all season long, back and forth with wins and podiums all season long, controversial incidents, but nothing in the end. Reese Linton did come out ahead of his close teammate Kai Pearson. Keen in their pick though, teammates swap positions once again for 4th and 5th, trying to keep ahead of Opie Barrett. Currently Mateo getting through on Grimbos. You can see just just a couple of overtakes every so often, but at the front it's a bit boring currently. But Reese Linton and Kai Pearson, they'll be loving it at the moment. 2 laps to go, a 1-2 in the sprint. Looking forward to another fantastic race for them. Obviously last week was not the greatest incident to be involved in, but they look to bounce back early this week and hopefully see a 1-2 victory for 2 be announced once again. Ghost King really close to the back of Tales now for P7. If you can get that done, that'll be really good points for G League as well.
Yeah, G League, of course, toward the bottom end of the standings. I think they're in 7th, if I'm not mistaken, coming into tonight ahead of Pioneer Racing by a point. So, Ghost King needs to get the points up. He'll only get an extra 1 if he goes ahead of Tales, the Brazilian ahead of him on the run in towards turn number 11. Ghost King within the slipstream, but not ghosting in front of him. Unfortunately, with Halloween coming up next week, there's more puns to come from me next week, certainly. Kai out on top from Reese in 2nd. Louis Valentine and 3rd. Malone making a very good point as well. They will not let him race at the end. No data or standings for the Solo Championship. Yeah, there is no data or standings for the Solo Championship, unlike last season, which there was, but we can still see a good battle. The ERS has actually been given up by Reese, so Reese is actually saving up that ERS, and do you know what? Is he going to come at him in towards turn number 1? He's getting close, not going to go. I think he'll go final lap of the race if he is going to go for the move. F7R swapping positions again. Urpek through, and he's into 4th. They're actually gaining now on the back of Louis Valentine. Louis Valentine has actually lost time as a result. But here is Ghost King on the inside line at Tales. Tales locking up a little bit too hot on the brakes. Alpine now tries to get up the hill in towards turn number 4, but watch out for FRT Harvey and all of this as well. He's within the slipstream looking for the move. Now Ghost King on the inside of Tales. The Brazilian holds sway, but Harvey now might go for the outside line. Ghost King makes a bit of contact there. He gets boxed in. Harvey needs to find room. He does find room. He's through and he's into 8th, and Ghost King holds 9th. Could have easily been contact there. Good racing from them all. Harvey there in 8th. Ghost King in 9th. And that slight tap costly for the G League, man.
Yeah, I know Tales, getting shoved a little bit away from the tap caused Harvey to get boxed in, so he kind of forced himself out with a little bit of space, but nothing really too dangerous between Ghost King and Tales. But a massive battle down this rail will come now. If FRT Harvey can keep the DRS now and keep close to Tales ahead, it could be a fantastic P7 for an FRT team who have really scored a very lack of points until after the first round. They had really good points in Monaco, 4th place by an FRT Chelsea. Now we've got Harvey in for decent points here in the sprint. 2 points will be big for them, especially in the sprint race where the top 8 only score points. But Harvey though, through he comes at these final few corners now. If he can keep it close from here, it really could be a fantastic P7 for FRT. But Ghost King will not be giving up lightly. With more ERS and more straight line speed, it looks like it could be Ghost King walking away with that 7th place on Tales.
And Reese Linton now, his domination over Kai Pearson goes to the lead of the race into the final lap of the race. Looking further down the field, though, we'll go back on board with this big old train as Harvey tries to chase down Tales in towards turn 1. Is he going to look it up on the brakes? He does slightly. Oh, that's a bit forceful from Harvey, if I've got to be honest. That is a job done, though. He's into 7th. There's contact, though, in the background. There's a huge knock-on effect. Lou's been caught up in that. Gabor caught up in that as well. I think it was Gabor and that Tales, if I'm not mistaken, that made initial contact. That's caused a big spawn effect in behind. Harvey and Ghost King, though, in the meantime, a side-by-side coming through 5, 6, and 7. Harvey that gets ahead of Ghost King, holding on for grim life he is. The Brit on the inside line, that goes the Frenchman, tries to find the way through on turn number 8. He parks the bus like Sunderland is doing against Leicester right now. There's more contact in towards turn number 8, and that is Tales actually spinning the car around again. So that is him, unfortunately, down in 14th position. Still not over and done with, by the way, for the race lead. Kai Pearson has got ERS to burn. 38% to Reese Linton. This is not over and done with yet for the race win. Who is going to come out on top? Are they just going to remain 1-2? Or is Kai Pearson and the racer's instinct going to come out on him and think, you know what, I'm going to come and get you coming through the final corner? Reese Linton now through the final corner. 2B announced are going to get a 1-2. I think Kai Pearson is not going to be doing enough, but he is. He's coming at him. Going to the line, beautiful photo shot, and it's Reese Linton who wins. Kai Pearson in 2nd, great photo opportunity there. Louis Valentine in 3rd, it's 2nd best at the end of the day. But Reese Linton, Kai Pearson, 1600ths of a second. I thought Racer's Instinct would have taken over there and Kai would get the win, but no.
No, that was very good. Very, very cool win in the end by the 2 Red Bull drivers. Louis Valentine, crucially, 3rd place for him after Erpic with a late charge there. It's a 2nd behind him. Erpic and Kean, though, 4th and 5th Mubarak in 6th. So that title fight still very, very close. FRT Harvey home in 7th with a pretty controversial move, you could say, into turn 1, a lock of the rears, shoving Tales wide, who ended up actually not in the points in the end. 13th place for Tales. Ghost King in 8th, BRT Lou in 9th, Shizu Tom in 10th, Marteo in 11th, Grimbos 12th, Tales and Kart Racer for NLR not having a good race there in 13th and 14th, Gabor 15th, Justin in 16th, Brandox in 17th as well. James, we have got one hell of a race ahead of us.
We have got one hell of a race ahead of us indeed. It's Reese Linton out on top, Kai Pearson in second. Again, could have easily been Racer's Instinct. Something, by the way, getting beat 1-0 now. Thank you to Joel there in the chat for keeping me up to date in terms of the scores right now. And yeah, it has not been a great start, I've got to be honest, from Sunderland so far. But anyways, it's been a great start for TB Announced, and it is Reese Linton out on top, from Kai Pearson in second, Louis Valentine in third, and if you had that on your bingo card for 1, 2, 3, congratulations, you didn't need to look far. Urpek there in 4th, Kian there in 5th, Mubarak there in 6th. Everyone else actually coming out of the top 10 for the rest of the points. Harvey there in 7th, goes King in 8th, Lou there in 9th, and then Tom ran up the top 10. Then Mateo in 11th, Grimbos in 12th, Tallers 13th, Cot Racer there in 14th, dropping down with a 5-second penalty for that bit of contact. 2,000ths of a second actually between himself and Tallers at the end. Gabor and Justin 15th, 16th, then Brandock, Stonks, Axe, and Ruti all 20 finished. Whether or not we will see that in the 29 laps that's going to be had remains to be seen. Fantastic result from the To Be Announced team. 1-2 for them, puts them up in the points. I did say at the start of the stream they wouldn't be there for long, and well and truly on the way potentially for another 1-2 finish here in the feature.
Yeah, really big possibility here. Hopefully we don't need a restart in terms of the grid. Hopefully the grid is fully sorted itself. But yeah, James, really big questions though asked on the strategy wise. Is it going to be a soft tyre? Is it a medium? Is it a hard tyre? Well, what are these engineers going to decide for these drivers? F1 and MBR stonks 19th and 18th after damage on lap 1 for both the MBR drivers who are trying to keep hold of 3rd place. Really not looking good for them so far, but a long race ahead. Hopefully they can pick up some more points. Shizuru to Ghoul at home there as well. P20 for him. Big comeback drive there for the Shizuru driver with a teammate just 10 places up in P10 with Shizu Tom. So yeah, big strategy mix up right now. A couple of hard tyres, a couple of medium tyres, a couple of soft tyres. What will they decide on? Let's all find out in a moment.
Yeah, definitely so. Drivers are being told to ready up at 18 minutes past. Joe apparently is on something because he thought it was F1 22 still in terms of the glitch that there was between the sprint and the feature. Luckily not, I don't think, in this game. We'll find out soon enough, though. If we do have to restart, we do have to restart, though. That is the case. But yeah, 1-2 out on track for To Be Announced. Let's have a reminder, of course, in terms of the points coming into tonight. There are the points coming up on your screen right now. Outplayed Racing currently leading the way on by 30 points over F7R in second on 240, Novus Racing third on 173, Bunker in fourth on 158, and Team Shazoo in fifth on 150 even, NLR in sixth on 145, G League in seventh on 143, Parna Racing in eighth on 142. To Be Announced now no longer probably on 112 for that one too, but they're ninth on 112 on this graphic. ET8 in 10th on 77, Future Racing Team in 11th on 61, and then Nexus Racing in 12th on 35 points. Now, OP, of course, with Louis Valentine getting that podium finish, outscoring F7R. 4th and 5th for F7R, though. Are they going to play second best, or is it going to be a lot closer in the race?
Yeah, I mean, I really hope it is really close in the race. That's all I hope for. A close race, close, clean racing is all we ask for in the Legacy Division. We usually have that so very often. Indeed, last week's race was really one of the spectacles of the season. The Qatar sprint was a highlight as well. The Qatar race was a highlight as well. Can it be just as good in Bahrain? I really would hope so. But 1 minute away from reading up. People, get your predictions in the chat right now. Who is going to be winning up this race? James, I'm going to ask you as well. Who is going to win this race?
Well, judging by my sprint prediction, I got it completely wrong. I am now going to backtrack and say Reese Linton for the win. I'm going to go Kian for second as a lively outsider, and for third, I am going to go for Louis Valentine.
You like Louis Valentine in that podium place. Fair play. I'm going to go Kai Pearson to win it, Reese Linton in second, and F7R Kian in third place. But James, moments away from lights out, please take it away when it comes.
Yeah, moments away indeed. Drivers are now readying up, so we're only about, hopefully about 10 or 15 seconds away from the lights going green once again in the feature. Let's hope the grid is right first and foremost, and let's hope we can get very good level of driving standards here from the feature race as well. But we are going to see very soon the father lights go out. Looking through as well in terms of the chat, loads of people saying it's Maresca football right now. Mowbray football will be coming back, I'm sure, in the second half. We have got a young team, of course, have something still very proud of our boys, even though we're getting beat. Even though, father lights are now coming out. So I'll shut up as we go there for father lights. And it is... Lights and away we go, and Reece Linton gets a very good start. Kai Pearson alongside him. Louis Valentine actually gets a better start compared to them both. Might even go around the outside. Oh, and there's contact actually running down the straight. 3 wide and towards turn number 1. Kai Pearson backs out. Louis Valentine hangs it around the outside. But Reece Linton leads. Louis Valentine and Kai Pearson second and third. Going off track there actually over the bump does Kai Pearson. Now brings Kian into play. Already up towards turn number 4. All clean through the first couple of corners. But nearly into the back there. Urpek on the back of the Red Bull of Kai Pearson. Everyone, I think, is clean through scot-free. We've now come through the middle sector, or in towards the middle sector now. Reece Linton leading the way, but look at Louis Valentine driving it to the inside line. OP man putting up at the inside on that set of soft compound tyre. That is forceful from the Frenchman. Gets the job done. Reece Linton in second, F7R in third with Kian. But it's Louis Valentine that leads. Interesting call on the tyres. Set of soft compound tyres, as is Lou, Matteo, Gabor. All in the set of softs. Everyone else have gone for the better strategy and gone for the set of hards. But Louis Valentine forcing Reece off track. Put it this way, TBA are not going to be happy.
No, they definitely won't be, but they know they can't be fighting all these soft tyres at the earliest point where they're going to be at the best point in the race. Lee Linton up in second, though Kian up in third as well after a fantastic turn 1. I got to see he was so hot on the brake, so confident. He outbraked 2 drivers and got up into 4th place, and he picked up that position after that collision between those 2 drivers as well. BRT Lou making those soft tyres work up in 6th place. Matteo and Gabor also on the soft tyres. Everyone else on the hard compound tyre. But we start off lap number 2, OP Louis Valentine. Fastest lap of the race with a 33.4. That'll be go ticking down low as we all continue on. Matteo getting through an FRT Harvey. He's getting absolutely swallowed up on those hard compound tyres. He's battling away with Matteo into turn number 1. He tags F7R Airpick ahead of him. Harvey's going to hold that inside line, and Matteo isn't able to get past FRT just yet. Tom and Grimbo's also behind wheel to wheel all the way down towards turn number 4. And it looks like Matteo's going to make it through on FRT Harvey again. He's on the inside line. Harvey holds the outside. Look at that tyre advantage from Matteo. He's still got the inside line, and this time Matteo gets through, and Grimbo's and Gabor now battling away. So Grimbles and Tom's already get through. Tom battles away, and Tom claims P11 on GL Grimbles.
Yeah, really good move there by Tom on the back of Grimbles. Good move there as well by Matteo. Don't expect anything less of him right now in terms of the action out on track, in terms of those set of softs working. Gabor right on the back of Matteo as well, right on the back of Harvey, I should say, as well for 10th position. He saw the position gains out on track as well. Louis Valentine on gaining 2, Kian on 2. However, Gabor is gaining 6 to the inside line now of Harvey. Not going to fight that, and BRT ahead of FRT. Very nicely done by the Aston Martin through, and he's into 9th. Whether or not, though, those tyres are going to last remains to be seen. I'm already concerned about Louis Valentine. He's not escaped the second up the road from Reece Linton. Reece Linton's got him within his sight. And already, set of soft compound tyres are going to be wearing at about 8% rate per lap. So if you put that 8% rate into your calculator, you will see about a 40% tyre wear over the first 5 or 6 laps of this race. Absolutely guaranteed around a track like this. I tried the softs around here, didn't work. Hards definitely better, and then transition to the set of mediums, which is the ultimate compounder tyre. Out on track as Matteo looks at the inside line of Urpek in towards turn number 1, and that is Matteo through, and he's into 7th position, making light work there of Urpek, and that is good job there from the man who was now, of course, part of PSGL PSF1 on Mondays. But Louis Valentine out on top, Reece Linton second, Kian there in third, Kai Pearson in 4th, and after that start, Kai Pearson, he backed off in towards turn number 1, got swallowed up by Kian on the up towards turn number 4. Mubarak was there as well, but now Kai Pearson settled down. He's there in 4th and currently holding sway. His moves happening up and down the field. I think that was Ruti getting both Kart Racer and Axe for 17th.
Yeah, no, Ruti having to work his way from the back is not easy to do, but making it work nicely on those hard compound of tyres is always good to see. But yeah, you can see Reece Linton and Kai Pearson kind of having a bit of a break right now, but Reece Linton is doing exactly what he needed to do. Keep in Louis Valentine's DRS. He's never going to have a DRS, so it's now a lot harder for Louis to drop Reece Linton on those soft compound of tyres. Yes, they're a bit more grippy right now, but I'll tell you what though, Reece Linton, showing how good his pace is on these hard compounded tyres, 7.5 tenths of the gap, he's going to get that DRS. It's going to be so much harder now for Louis Valentine to create that gap to Reece Linton behind on the soft compounded tyre. They'll get more and more worn as the race goes on. So yeah, really not a great strategy so far by Outplayed Racing. Keane just outside the DRS, but he has got it as he managed to get in the detection point just before it came up. But look at Kai Pearson, he wants to get P3 out of F7R Keane on that Red Bull car. Down the inside he goes on F7R Keane, picks the inside line nice and early, and we are back to a TBA 2-3.
Yeah, nicely done by Kai through on Keane. Keane not going to be in a rush at all, but he is in a rush to save his ERS because he's only got 5% left. Early on in this race, really trying to find it out early, trying to really grind it out as Tom as well on the back of Grimbles, gets a 3-second penalty for his pains after coming, and Grimbles has actually made contact with the wall coming out of turn number 3, very similar actually to where Grosjean crashed, very similar to position out on crash. Of course, Grosjean's crash much bigger and much more harrowing, I think, than what we saw there with Grimbles. But Grimbles there down in 19th position. Grosjean, of course, now part of IndyCar, still continuing his racing career, which is always good to see. Brilliant work by the medical team that day as well. But Louis Valentine leading the way. Reece Linton second. Kai Pearson there in third. 2-3 now for TBA. McLaren, though, of Keane will just try and back up maybe a little bit of ERS. You can see that 8% of ERS he has got in the McLaren right now. Everyone else ahead, very low on their batteries as well. I'm just trying to see who's got the most. Lou is the one that has got the most in 6th position. 41% even of ERS now coming to the right-hander of turn number 13. So if you're on board with Lou right now, and if you're a BRT fan, I'd be actually very impressed by the way he's managing his race so far. Everyone else ahead, Mubarak as well, the same, 40%. Everyone else in the top 4 really trying to split the field out. Everyone else in behind being more conservative, and that is the approach you've got to be doing.
Yeah, you've got to try and consider a bit of battery when you want to make the overtakes, and also if it comes to defending from the car behind. F7RK and having no battery is losing him so much time. He isn't able to gain in the places where he should be gaining with the battery advantage. Obviously, DRS for Reece Linton and Kai Pearson ahead is really hard in his race, but Louis Valentine, you can see his soft tyres are already dropping off. Reece Linton is really catching now in these big braking and traction zones, so yeah, those hard tyres are really kicking into a good gear now. Louis Valentine, maybe the wrong call on the soft compounded tyre. Yes, Lou, Matteo and Gabor are also in there on the soft compounded tyre in 6, 7 and 8, but they had places to make up. Louis Valentine, he didn't really have to go for the lead that early. He could have sat behind Reece Linton and Kai Pearson just like he did in the sprint and probably would have got them with a DRS enabled. But yeah, they went for the soft, they got them and it was done. But really, is it worth it in the long term?
Probably not. Probably not. I'm already saying, I know he's got DRS obviously on the back of Louis Valentine, but Reece Linton there in second, doing a good job. 17% of ERS currently on him, so he is just beginning to build that up. But you can see, in terms of the hard compounded tyres, they are physically already quicker than the softs out there on track. Softs hardly last around 9 or 10 laps, even on a 2-stop strategy. They hardly last around 9 or 10 laps around here. So Louis Valentine is going to be under the pump, quite literally, from the 2 in behind, from the 2 Red Bulls in behind, to try and gain that position, maybe to try and let them through and gain that little bit of battery back. Running down the straight in towards turn number 1. Reece Linton on the back of Louis Valentine, not going to be getting close enough, or is he? Looks towards the inside line potentially. That's Louis Valentine holding on for the race lead. We also see moves further down the field, however. Matteo on the back of Lou. Goes King ahead of Tom. Tallers now ahead of Tom and towards turn number 1 as well. Tom neatly boxed in there slightly, forcing Tallers round. If he's not careful, he might have Stonks in this as well, and he does, because Tom has been spun. Not sure if there was a bit of desync going on there between them both, but Stonks is there, 13th position. Tom there down on 18th, and I'm not sure if that was desync or if that was just pure bad driving.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of both, to be honest. I think it could have been easily avoided if it wasn't desync. MVR Stonks sticking his nose where it didn't belong on Shizu Tom. He's been caught up in 2 instances recently. He recently caught that hole with the first turn due to being shoved wide by GL Grimbos that then caused Grimbo to spin round to that as well. So yeah, Tom getting caught up in a lot of incidents that aren't really his fault when you really think about it. But in this midfield pack, those soft runners are in a really bad place right now, James. You have to save the ERS, but Airpick on the hards, Harvey also on the hards with good ERS, Ghost King as well catching back up to these guys ahead. These hard runners are going to be licking their lips to these 3 positions ahead of them once they all have to pit onto a possible medium or a hard compound tyre, whatever they decide. But look at the gap being created by Kai Pearson on F7RK, and crucially for Outplayed Racing, if they can at least have a gap to the F7R guys and outscore them, it's massive for the championship battle. And if they can outscore F7R today going into Canada, they'll be so confident in keeping that championship lead towards the transfer window.
Yeah, definitely so. And look at Mubarak now on the back of Key, and he looks towards the inside line. I thought he was coming in the pit lane there, to be honest. He was so far to the right. Reese Linton on the back of Louis Valentine goes for the race lead, as does Kai Pearson on the back as well. But Reese goes hot into turn one. Louis Valentine gets the switch back around the outside of turn number 2. Reese Linton positions car. Louis Valentine forced off track. Kai Pearson now going to have to run up the hill on them both. Got to be careful, guys. But Reese there leading the way. Kai there sitting in behind on the back of Louis Valentine. In the end, back didn't get the job done on Keane, so we picked up on board with the right battle in the end. But Louis Valentine in second. Already now, you can see, just physically coming through this part of the track, through 6 and 7, Louis Valentine now absolutely done on the brakes there by Kai Pearson. Bit of a rear lock. He was already ahead into the corner before the rear lock happened. Job done for Kai Pearson. He's doing it into second. Louis Valentine will not have quarrels about that. He'll be questioning more his own strategy and the engineer's strategy in terms of OP right now, because Keane and Mubarak, next lap around, are going to be right on the back of him.
Yeah, no, those soft tyres are really, really dying now for OP Louis Valentine, along with Lou, Matteo and Gabor as well. They've got to be sure, got to pick the right point to make a pit stop. Could it maybe even be on this lap here? We see them come into the pit lane. Is a soft tyre wear really that bad? Really, I don't really know what to expect. There could be a pit stop this early for Louis Valentine, which really wouldn't be a good call from Outplayed Racing. They are not very good. Why are the strats so mid, says GR Evo 1? I have to agree with you there. The soft tyres really not having a good time so far for Louis Valentine. Is it a pit stop for him? No, he dives back onto the straight. But with these two ahead of him breaking away with the DRS, surely he's got to be thinking about a pit stop soon.
Yeah, definitely so. Louis Valentine, though, I think is very happy at this stage, though, to stay on the back. Oh, my God, nearly into the back, actually, Kai, through turn number 1. But if he makes mistakes like that, rear locking, he's just cost himself 0.6 of a second nearly there, coming through turn number 1 alone. So his tyres are going off. As long as he stays within Kai and Reese and actually takes a little bit of heat out of the tyres, I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be trying to get as far into the race as possible just to try and match the strategies ahead. But at the moment, the hards really running rings over the guys and a set of softs as we go longer through the race. The ball now on the back of Matteo, the 7th and 8th position, both on that set of soft compound tyre, looking for the move as the man in the Aston Martin. By the way, we had pit stops from lap 1 at Grimbles, pitted in on a set of medium compound tyres after damage, I believe, so that's why he came into the pits. And Justin there down in 20th position, not a happy bunny there for the FLT team, down in 20th position. He had contact early on lap 1 as well, so that's why he's down in 20th. They were battling, though, a few laps ago, so Grimbles' tyres clearly much quicker than Justin right now. But Reese Linton leading the way, Kai in second, Louis Valentine there in third. All now calm, hopefully. Calm in the football as well. Still 1-0 Leicester, unfortunately, but something I'm sure will come back, as will, hopefully, Keane and Mubarak into DRS range as well. 1.1 seconds the gap, nearly within DRS range this time around. Not quite, but Keane there, 2% of ERS. I'd be very concerned if you're anybody behind Keane, because Keane has not got the straight line speed to try and fight with the front 3, and he's got to save his ERS quickly, because Mubarak's now coming at him, goes for the move. Kai Pearson swapping the lead as well with Reese Linton. Mubarak, though, Thuni's into 4th, and that was that vulnerability that I just talked about.
Yeah, well, this is also with no battery now, gives Keane no chance of fighting back Mubarak. Mubarak, also with no battery himself, but Keane just isn't close enough and without less straight line speed to make the move again. So this gives Louis Valentine a little bit of a cushion, really, behind him. Once he loses that position to his teammate, he can keep him in that DRS and hopefully keep it going for a little bit longer on those soft compounded tyres. So it could be possibly a hard person. Mubarak goes wide! Well, Mubarak went really, really wide at turn the number 6. I'm not sure what's happened there to Mubarak. He just ran really wide at the left-hander, sorry. He turned right to go left a little bit too much, and he's lost that position to Keane. That gives Keane a massive chance to get through Louis Valentine now.
Yeah, definitely so. Tony, by the way, in the chat asking, I don't really watch Xbox, but can anyone tell me the championship leader? Yeah, Outplayed Racing leading the way. Coming into tonight, that's the guys in the Ferraris with the OP tag. On 3rd and 5th position. They're leading by 30 points coming into tonight. F7R in second. They're the guys in the McLarens, Keane and Urpec, currently 4th and 9th. They are second on 240 points. NVR, Novus Racing, are down, well down the field. Stonks and Axe, they're 13th and 16th position. They're in 3rd on 100 and... Give me a second, I will get this right in terms of the standings. 173 points, and then a big gap as well to Bunker Racing Team. And 143. Here comes Kai Pearson, though, for the lead on the back of Reese Linton. 2BO9's absolutely cooking in terms of their strategies. Crispy doing well as well. Kai Pearson third, he's into the race lead. Reese in second. Louis Valentine in third, holding on slightly. Uppbeat, though, looking for the move now on the back of Gabor to the inside line through turn number 1. Gabor still there through the inside line at turn number 2. Hardly any inch apart. That is how you race through turn number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Gabor now on the back of Uppbeat, coming back at him up the hill in towards turn number 4. He's got the slipstream. Is he going to get the traction around the outside? Still fighting side by side between these two. Not an inch apart. Uppbeat should get ahead. He is ahead. Uppbeat through these into 8. That is how you race in Bahrain. Take note.
Yeah, really good racing between Gabor and Uppbeat there. Uppbeat picked his line early, used a bit of batter to keep ahead of BRT. Gabor has got a massive ERS advantage, mind you, but the a lot older tyres would be very worn now. The hard tyres have been a bundle than the softs right about now, especially for the fact that the DRS of Gabor, he can usually burn his ERS a bit more, but he might be saving for a little bit of later on in the race to really go for a bigger move maybe later on as he thinks about it. BRT Lou now dropped out a DRS of OP Mubarak, who's really struggling now to catch back up to S7R Kian. Kian might be breaking that gap to Outplayed Racing is really close arch rivals. F7R currently have a driver in 4th and 8th place, OP 5th and 3rd. So right now, Outplayed Racing outscoring their championship rivals. They're already got a 30-point gap. That will be extended as we look towards the Canadian Grand Prix next week. But coming to the final corner now, Mubarak does have that DRS lucky to F7R Kian. Kian almost dropped out. Kian doesn't have DRS, sorry. Kian has been dropped out of the DRS at OP Louis Valentine, really helping his teammate out now in 5th place, trying to gain that position back for 4th place. But Matteo for BRT Louis for 6th as well.
And Uppbeat as well down the inside line in turn number 1. That's a bit late on the brakes from him. It's a clean move. There was a slight bit of contact. Lou might not be happy with that. He's on the wrong tyre though, so Uppbeat gets the job done. Through and he's into 7th. Lou there's going to come back at him in towards turn number 4. Not quite, but Gabor there just hanging on him behind as well. But a nice move there by Uppbeat. The racing is getting better as the race progresses, which is good to see. You guys at home get the best seat in the house as well, with myself, James Head, and Ross Greenhorn taking you through the action here tonight for Console T1 for Legacy Division WOR round 9. Round 10, of course, as you mentioned, Canada next week. Nathan saying in Discord, PS where is something? Well, let's have a look at the Xbox guys for now, because Gabor was side by side there with Harvey. Harvey was looking on the outside line. There's a bit of a lock up there from Lou just in front. Harvey though tries to find the gap on the outside, doesn't get the job done, and Harvey will have to remain for now as Uppbeat looks at the inside line of Matteo. And that is him through and he's into 6th position. But yeah, PS where compared to Xbox where right now, even I think for the front 5, further down the field, you're really beginning to see big splits, Uppbeat especially from 5th to 6th.
Yeah, I know these positions really starting to costly for the likes of Matteo, Lou and Gabor. Lou and Gabor luckily still in a good point scoring position though for BRT. Lou starting last in the sprint, having a strong sprint up into P9, now up into P8, so having a strong race so far, just keeping with the other soft runner ahead as they're trying to see if they can keep in DRS of Uppbeat. But Matteo having a bit more ERS as well is really helping them and their charge and kind of keep with the guys ahead in that DRS. But Kian as well just isn't able to get close enough to OP Louis Valentine. These two at the front have been gaining and gaining ERS over time due to them just being DRSing off each other. Louis having to burn to stay with them. It's just a fantastic strategy call so far and great teamwork between these two. A bit better than last week in Mexico where Kai Pearson ended up re-winding his teammate Reese Linton down at about P10 in the end in that one. But Kian now though having a really good middle sector and catching up to Louis Valentine.
Yeah, Louis Valentine's tyres now really beginning to go off the cliff. Definitely a one-stop strategy, by the way. You would have seen it for 2 stops. People coming in pit lane long ago, probably from around lap 8, lap 9 onwards. But Kian on the back of OP's Louis Valentine again, a bit of a rear lock. You can see actually rear left compound tyre, big blistering going through. We're right on board with Kian. There it is, rear left blistering going on right through the centre of the tyre. And his tyres actually, that Mubarak through, I thought he got a puncture there for 1 second. But Louis Valentine lets Mubarak through. He's out into pit. That is the curtain call now for Mubarak to push on. And for Louis Valentine, I think, to call it a day and come in the pit lane and put on a different set of tyres. I'd imagine it'll be a set of hards till the end of the race. They can last 17 laps quite easily in terms of my notes, in terms of general tyre wear, which is certainly what we haven't seen so far here tonight. But Kai there leading the way. Reese in 2nd, Kian there in 3rd. The front 2 have now got the gap out. Louis Valentine, as I mentioned, is into the pit lane. This should be a set of hards. I'd be very surprised though, Ross, if he decides to go yellow wall compound tyre, set of mediums, and then try and get them to the end of the race. Let's see. It is white wall. It's a set of hards.
Yeah, I think that's a smart to do. So the mediums maybe not that confident. Really good tyres. So Justin and Grimble's only 2 on it, but Justin and Grimble's right at the back after damage on lap number 1. S7R Kean now hopefully trying to catch up to Reece Linton and Kai Pearson ahead. If he can try and catch up to his former PSR teammates, that could be really helpful in that DRS battle with Opima Barrack behind, who is also still in 4th place. And his race pace really hasn't really been it today, to be honest with you. He hasn't really been his usual self, but he is catching the back up to the McLaren ahead, and hopefully can get that move done sooner rather than later. But Airpipe behind us are 2.7 seconds behind, but he is catching with every single corner. To Opima Barrack ahead, his close championship rival. But right now, though, that pit stop from OP Louis Valentine was down to P50 and outside the points.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll disagree with you actually on Mubarak's pace. I think Mubarak's pace, compared to other leagues where I've seen him in, his race pace is now so much stronger than what I've seen there, and it's looking good. He's on the back of Kean, but I can totally get what you're on about. I think his tyres, compared to Kean, he's gone far too aggressive in this early stage, and that's why he's paying for it now. Look at the gap, 8 tenths of a second. Kean's got barely any ERS. He's on that ERS, trying to burn it up. Mubarak has got that ERS for conservation later on in the race. But is that a good strategy call for Mubarak to wait in terms of the ERS, wait potentially for the moves to come to him, rather than attempting to go for the moves himself? Time will only tell. Gabor is certainly going to be in the pit lane as well. Matteo also came in, Lou also came in last time around, so Gabor is going to be in the pit lane. And they're coming in lap 13, lap 14, from a set of soft compound tyres, much longer than what I've had in my notes. It comes to say that I'm absolutely terrible in terms of tyre wear around this track. There's a yellow flag. Was that Ruti spinning again? It was indeed. Ruti, I think, spinning, coming through the final couple of corners. In fact, it was Tom, Tom in the Alfa Romeo spinning, coming out of turn number 13. He's got the car back going again. No damage on the car. He's there down in 19th position. Not his day at the office for the man in Jizu. And he has been called Bad Luck Tom by me in the past, privately. It's the first time I've said it publicly, so he's going to come at me for that. But his luck, once again, running low, running thin. And compared to Console Tier 1, where he took the race win, this is a different side of Tom that we're seeing.
Yeah, I know. We used to see a fast Tom out there trying to score some points for Team Shizou, but today, really just hasn't been their day in terms of the race going their way. And yeah, it's just been very unfortunate for Team Shizou. Yes, soft tyres, I'm going to say, for Shizou Tom. You must be seeing what Louis Valentine and what the other BRT guys are doing as well. So thought, you know what, I'm going to do the exact same as them. We run it to the end, see if we get a puncture. We get a puncture. It is what it is. But these front guys still doing their very best on those 13-lap old hard compound of tyres. Louis Valentine came out well ahead of Matteo and BRT Lou, as he already was, but he is catching already to Shizou Rutagula ahead. They are currently in that train from P13 all the way up to about P7. Kai Pearson, Reece Linton making that first pit stop at the front. James Crucially, Reece Linton and also Opima Barrack.
Yeah, Doug's just mentioned it in the chat. Reece apparently on 72% on terms of his stream. I've been watching that stream as well, just for a little bit of guidance, and he was on about 74% before he came in the pit lane there. So Reece Linton really overshooting his tyres. Those mediums, though, gotta be worried about those mediums now. God forbid Tom and the set of softs, their tyres wearing out. But the mediums in the second stint remain to be seen. Louis Valentine, though, is ahead and will be, I think, more than a second ahead of Reece Linton when they get back up to speed. Reece is going to now use up that ERS, try and get those tyres up to temperature as quick as possible. If you can stay within a second of Louis Valentine, job done. He looks quicker. He should be much quicker on those tyres, but this is Formula 1. Anything can happen, and it usually does, as one Murray Walker once said. Reece Linton, though, on the back of Louis Valentine, 10th and 11th position. His tyres now up to temperature, and he's within that DRS range. Absolutely crucial for him, crucial for TBA as well.
Yeah, I know, really crucial for TBA, but I got to say that ERS saving behind his teammate has really helped him here. You can see that the ERS advantages got to OP Louis Valentine, 20% more than the Ferrari ahead, and 2 laps fresher tyres, and the fresher compound. This is just a fantastic situation for Reece Linton. I'm going to guess that his teammate Kai Pearson could be in at the end of this lap, along with Kean. But Airpeck could have to go out that 1 lap longer, so could have been crucial for their pit stops now. If he's out that 1 lap longer, let's find out. Is Airpeck now charging down the street? Yeah, he is staying out that 1 lap a little bit more. Stonks might be in the pits as well for MVR. He is indeed into the pit lane as well. But Kai Pearson cruising into the pit lane for his medium compound tyre change. Where will Louis Valentine emerge from now?
Yeah, where will he emerge? Indeed, Reese Linton's going to get the move done, I think, in the meantime as well. On the back of him, running down the straight in towards turn 1, Kai Pearson and Kian and the likes all into the pit lane. There on the right-hand side on the pit wall, there's Reese Linton going through on camera shot on the back of Louis Valentine. Oh, a bit of a lag spike there in towards turn 1, and it's sent Reese Linton completely straight on. It's now recovered itself. That was a scary moment on a half, I think, on my end, certainly. Reese lagged. Nearly off in towards turn number 1. Hopefully this is not the sign of things to come, but Reese there through in his intervals. Louis Valentine in 5th, Mubarak there in 6th, and in the end, Kai Pearson and Kian have came out behind Mubarak, and 7/10 behind at that as well, so on the borderline potentially for running out of DRS range. Looking good so far though. Hopefully, as the race progresses, the overtakes will progress as well, and the action will just get better and better. Lap 16 out of 29, Urpek leading from Tales in 2nd, Axler in 3rd. NLR may as well take a picture now, because it's the only time they're going to get a 1-2, certainly tonight. They're in 1st and 2nd, Axler in 3rd for NVR. Then, everyone who else has pitted, apart maybe from Grimbos, who'll have to come in again, Reese Linton, Louis Valentine right off the top 5, then Mubarak, Kai Pearson, Kian, Mateo, Harvey top 10, Louis Gabor, Ghost King, Stonks and Grimbos top 15, Kart Racer, Brandox, Ruti, Tom and Justin, the 20 drivers still continuing out on track, and NLR's Kart Racer even getting the job done even on the back of Stonks. I think I said Urpek's a part of NLR. I wish he was, to be honest, but he's part of F7R and he's now in the pit lane from the race lead as there's contact between Brandox and Grimbos. And that, again, is the driving standards dropping.
Yeah, very unfortunate incident between those two. There, Brandox off clean. Grimbos on the hands, 1 round, and that's MVR Stonks, picking a 3-second time penalty as well. But crucially, OP Mubarak and Louis Valentine, 2nd and 3rd, Kai Pearson in 4th. But OP won't be really that scared of Reese Linton and Kai Pearson being where they are right now. As long as F7R Key and F7R Airpack are down the field a little bit, they'll be happy with this result. Obviously, they want to try and win the race and get a bit higher up, but Kai Pearson behind on faster tyres and then Louis Valentine will be one thing. But with Kian behind them and Airpick down in 10th place, massive points haul for OP and not a good points haul for F7R for a win last week in Mexico, but still another 12 laps to go. Anything can happen in F1.
Yeah, anything can happen in F1. Anything can happen between OP and TBA as well, because here comes Kai Pearson on the back of Louis Valentine. Louis down the straight's just got enough legs, I think, to see it off, but he's right on the back of him, and he's into the back of him, actually, through turn number 11. But good sportsmanship there. That could have easily been contact and easily been Kai Pearson taking advantage, gaining that position ahead of Louis Valentine. That's good sportsmanship right there from the Red Bull. That's what we like to see in Formula 1 and indeed in sim racing. Kai Pearson there on the back of Louis Valentine, still looking for the move. And speaking of sim racing, by the way, I'm not sure if you guys saw the news. One Isaac Hadjar, formerly of PSGL and WOR and League Racing Community, getting his chance in FP1 in the AlphaTauri in free practice 1 for the next Grand Prix. Very good indeed. Not that it doesn't matter, because Kai Pearson's going to shut me up and get the move done in towards turn number 1, but he's through and he's into 3rd. But it comes to show these guys might be in the sim world, but it comes to show you can make it into real-life Formula 1, which is always good.
Yeah, I know it is also good to see these drivers evolving into something a bit much bigger and better. So yeah, fair play to Isaac. Hopefully he can do pretty well in that AlphaTauri car. Mubarak though, he's got to get a move on as well. He is 2.6 behind Reese Linton, but 1.2 behind Kai Pearson. James is looking very likely that we see another 1-2 today from 2B announced. Still yet with a name, but in the end, they will still be taking a maximum points, so which they'll be delighted about. A 1-2 in the sprint and a 1-2 in the race as well. That's something to say the least. Louis Valentine doing really well to try and keep with these guys ahead as well. F7R Kian, though, crucially, is on the back of a championship rival. Could we possibly see hopefully a clean maneuver by F7R Kian, OP Louis Valentine on older hard tyres? But on the straight, though, it'll be a good move for Kian to go down the inside, get that move done, and promote himself into P4, and hopefully still P3 from Mubarak.
Ooh, he looks the inside line, coming through what I like to dub Car Killer Corner at turn number 12. Looking very close, I've got to say, Kian, to the action on the back of Louis Valentine. They've dropped out of DRS. They've got to be wary because Harvey and Mateo are not too far off them. 1.5 seconds to Harvey, 1.2 back to Mateo. Louis Valentine puts the park the bus on, in behind on the F7R, man. I don't think it'll matter now because Kian's going to go for the move down the straight in towards turn 1. But Louis Valentine is burning that battery. He's got more battery to use. Whether or not it's a good effect remains to be seen. It uses up slight amount of that battery, but in the end, Kian forges past and Clooney's into 4th. Louis Valentine there in 5th, and Gabor now swapping positions with Lou. That is him through, and he's into 8th position as well. Liam knows who I'm on about in terms of that, and Kai Pearson is getting the job done there on Mubarak. That's the wrong guy. That is him through, and he's into 2nd. Red Bull ahead of the Ferrari. Mubarak as well. Set a medium compounder tyres for him. His tyres are already going off. I thought the mediums would have been actually better around this track than the hards. Maybe not so, given the strategies that we've seen tonight.
Yeah, no, possibly those hard tyres just aren't able to keep with as good with everyone around on the medium compound tyre. Matteo and Louis took the gamble, and well, Louis, yeah, he's not having a good time so far on those hard compound tyre. Kian already dropped him at the DRS. FRT Harvey having a really quiet race, but eyeing up a P5 finish here for FRT. This will be their best result since Monaco by an FRT Chelsea on track finish P3, but a penalty dropped them down to P4. So yeah, this is crucially a fantastic result for FRT, who are in dire need of some points in this championship. So hopefully Harvey can get that moved on for the future racing team. They have got about the same battery as OP Louis Valentine ahead, but that better tyre compound is crucial for making that overtake down the straight. As they'll jump back up the straight though, restarting to Kai Pearson 1-2, OP Mubarak, well, he is chasing down Kai Pearson for P2.
Yeah, and Urpek chasing down Lou for P9 as well. That's the job done for Urpek. He's going to be under pressure, though, from the back of Lou, from the back of Ghost King. Watch out for the flying Frenchman. Is he going to close in on the back of Lou? Look at the speed down the straight. I don't think he's going to be close enough. Pulls to the inside line. Lou a little bit hesitant on the brakes, and that is Ghost King on the brakes, and that is a brilliant move from the G-League man in the end. Turns a negative potentially in terms of a straight line speed, intra positive. Job done. Lou battling back though up the hill in towards turn number 4, and is now going to put pay to that 10th position potentially. Goes to the inside line, goes King runs out wide, and Lou is back. Looney's into 10th. That is marvellous racing between them both. Comes to who can race around here in Bahrain. Car race from Stonks to side by side through 6 and 7 as well. But Ghost King through, getting ahead into 11th. Lou getting ahead into 10th position, and Kart Racer managed to hold off Stonks just about.
Yeah, Kart Racer with a decent move there on MVR. Stonks, who does have that 3-second time penalty crucial Brandox, has really no reason to go for it on MVR Stonks. You can see the tyre smoke almost blocking Stonks' view going down the hill there, but he does keep it going nice and cleanly as he carries on, looking to eye up that P12 again on track over Kart Racer.
Oh, no, no.
FRP Harvey is very close. Brandox and Stonks, you said, Stonks
Why?
off the track. A dirty move by Brandox. I'm not sure what he is doing there, James. As you said, the standards seem to be dropping as time goes on. But crucially, though, FRT Harvey is on the back of OP Louis Valentine.
He is indeed, and I'm sure this will be a damn sight cleaner than what we've just seen there. Harvey on the back of Louis Valentine in towards turn number 1. FRT against OP. Never thought I'd be seeing this tonight, but Harvey getting the job done down the straight. Louis Valentine's tyres will come back into play, though, towards the end of the race, so it is not done with between this battle, but Harvey for now is ahead. Thuni's into 5th, Louis Valentine in 6th, but surely the bolt has blown it now for OP with Mubarak's strategy. He's on the back of Kai Pearson still. In terms of Louis' strategy, definitely gone. Urpek on the back of Matteo there, looking towards the inside line, in towards turn number 4, gets the job done. F7R man ahead of the ET8 man. And again, that is how you race. It's a majority of drivers that are racing clean in this race. It's just a handful that, unfortunately, is putting pay to what we want to try and grow, and that's to try and grow the league racing scene, and to put every single one... Now, I said this on social media earlier on. You're not going to have a race that's 100% perfect. It's never going to happen. But we expect better driving standards. Us as commentators, you guys at home, you want to see the best from the best, and that is what we hope for in the commentary box every single week, and that's what we hope for as well going forward in the league racing community. Gabor there on the back of Matteo, 8th and 9th position, doing good job. Bill Woffick saying in the chat, James Head slander. It's true though, it's true, because I'm frustrated with the driving standards, and I just want to see better driving. These guys are capable, show it, simple.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, James. I'm full you there. 100% back up that point, and definitely Gabor here on the back of Matteo hopefully this can be a cleaner move up the inside into turn number 1. He's going to have DRS as he jumps on the straight here at turn number 15. DRS now opening up at the rear wing of the Aston Martin. Inside line picked up nice and early, and hard compound tyres just really aren't able to keep with the mediums right now. The mediums really was a good decision in the end, but as the race moves on, maybe the hard tyres might go into a little bit of a better window, but maybe they pitted a little bit too early in terms of taking that white striped hard compound tyre. But GL Ghost King's also on the back of Mateo. Now Mateo defending really hard on Ghost King. Ghost King getting all weavy at the back of him there. Big lead, that kart racer! It's in the wall. It's a safety car! Crucially, safety car on lap 22. Well, the big question is, do they pit? Do they stay out? I'm sure it'll be a pit stop, but crucially, kart racer in the wall.
Kart racer in the wall. Unfortunately, I didn't actually see that. I was too busy looking through and banning somebody in terms of a Discord link that I've just received. But kart racer in the wall. Unfortunate for him. Where was that out on track? Because I'm looking on board with Tom now, and he's nowhere near where kart racer might have crashed. His car's already gone, so it is a bit of a guessing game. But did you see where he crashed? Was it coming out of turn 1 and 2?
I think it was James. The exit at turn number 3. Actually, I don't know if it was a collision or whatever, but he's in the wall on the left-hand side.
Yeah, left-hander coming out of turn number 2. That was, so I think he's got caught maybe on the outside curb, very similar to what Nikita Mazepin done. Now, of course, kart racer's a much better driver than Nikita Mazepin because he, at least in this race, he's actually done more laps than what Nikita Mazepin did in his F1 career. But yeah, kart racer out of the race. NLR out of the race with one of their drivers. Now brings everyone into the pit lane and now brings interesting calls into the pits as Reese Linton's in, Kai Pearson in, Louis Valentine in, and nearly into the back of Kai Pearson there. Might have just been a slight bit of contact between them both. They avoided that though. All going on to a set of softs. Harvey in, Louis Valentine in, Urpek in. They're all going to be in. Unless you are somebody, for example, like Brandox or your Stonks. Stonks is the one that is staying out. On a set of medium compound tyres, he's going to take the race lead as well. Stonks now in the race lead. Reese Linton in second. It's a risky call. It's bold. He's going for broke. And Taller's doing the same thing as well.
Yeah, no, really, I don't really know why he stayed out. I'm just really confused on that. It's just going to be a case of just getting swallowed up when it comes in. Is it another poor call by MVR and not bring him in and take the soft tyre? I'm not really sure, but those medium tyres will not be able to keep up with the fresh soft. And Tales as well, having a really risky strategy staying out. They both have penalties, so I guess you could say they have nothing to lose. They might as well stay out and hope for some incidents in behind. But yeah, crucially, key in losing position to Mubarak in the end. Reese Linton, Kai Pearson held up in the pits, head down into P6 as well. Harvey in P7, Gabor crucially as well. James, a 5-second time plate for speeding.
Yeah, 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So unfortunate for him. He's down in 10th position. Will be further down the field if that one, of course, does not get removed. Might be the case where he's gone over, he's on the limit coming into the pit lane, and he's actually just, and it's actually in the red, and it's given them a 5-second penalty. I've had that before in Zandvoort, so trust me, honestly, I know how it feels if that is the case. Other penalties, by the way, Stonks on 3, Tales on 3. They've got to try and make the most out of a bad situation, really, I think, at this stage, because we've got penalties. They're on the slower compound tyre compared to the guys in the soft, so that means Stonks, Tales, first and third, going to be interesting in terms of how that, but it's going to be potentially very, very strange indeed. Francesco asking in the chat, did kart racer's wheel disconnect or what? Potentially, I'm not sure if it did. I'm sure we'll get something in the Discord if we do hear or see of anything from what kart racer had. If he did, then it's unfortunate for him. I'm thinking, though, the way he crashed and was on the left-hand side wall, he's got caught on the outside curb at turn number 2. Very easy to do if you get the floor bottomed on the car, under the curb. Very easy to do, spin the car off, very similar Nikita Mazepin style, as Stonks and Tales are into the pit lane. Sensibleness wins out at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why they set out that extra lap. It kind of just made, I mean, yes, with the fresher tyre, but they've just lost a lot more positions now, and it's a lot harder to make those overtakes for the points. But yeah, I guess fair enough. He's in the pits. He's now, so everyone else is pit behind him, so he will maybe steal some points in the end. But a tough task, a tough ask for MVR Stonks, but crucial at the front of Reese Linton leading the way. OP Mubarak in P2, Keane in third, Kai in fourth, F40 Harvey in fifth place, and not ruled out of anything higher just yet. Valentine in sixth, Erpek in seventh, Mateo eighth, Ghost King ninth, Ruti Hula in the top 10 as well. So I tell you what, James, I cannot pick a winner from this grid.
Definitely not. Everyone, by the way, in terms of the chat, asking what is going on with what NVR and the guys on the set of softs are doing. They're going for the fresher compounded tyre. It's a good strategy call, but they're so far down the field, they're not really going to make an impact on a lap's fresher tyre. And with only 6 laps to go, you're hardly going to have any punctures or anything towards the end of the race. So it's a bit pointless, if I've got to be honest, for guys coming in the pit lane, putting that fresh set of rubber. Because, yes, there might be incidents ahead, but in my eyes, if they stay as they are, 14th, 15th, and 16th, it's a complete and utter waste of time, and it begs the question: why do they even do this with the mediums and possibly getting extra points as a result? They're down, we're getting 2 and 1 points right now. Stonks and Tallers could have easily been a lot higher if they decided to cause maybe a little bit of chaos, maybe a little controversy as well. But I think what they have done is right. It's morally right for everyone else on the set of softs. For them, though, it's ruined their chance of a potential race win as well. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. These final 5 laps or so, we will go on to lap 25 of 29. And it is Reece Linton out on top from Mubarak in second, Kian there in third. Joel saying in the chat, go half if he wins, I will vlog myself studying rocks. Well, it's better than studying a good first half performance from Sunderland and us still being 1-0 down, but at least we are in the game, which is good. Reece Linton, though, in the game, in the zone, currently leading the race here on lap 25.
Yeah, again, crucially, be another lap of the safety car being out. Be four racing laps, sorry, left of this race. A 4-lapper until the FRT Justin is back into the pit lane. I'm not sure what is going on there. Maybe for another set of soft compound tyres, possibly. I would presume is what it's gonna be. Yes, I'm correct. A brand new set of soft tyres again for the FRT, and he will catch up though to the grid in time. So he's got freshest tyres on the ball. Everyone will be in a 3-lap old or 2-lap old. He'll be on 1-lap old. And yeah, this will just be a fight to the line for him. Can he gain any positions and get some points for his team? Can he gain some points like FRT Harvey has done up in P5? Let's all find out. I hope that it's a clean race, James. I really do hope it's clean all the way through. We can have a good battle for the win like we did in Mexico, and that will be something to remember.
Yeah, definitely so. Tony in the chat saying time to cook indeed. Francesco saying he's going to waste 2% just to catch up. I know the feeling. He's there in 15th position, and he's came in for 1 lap fresher tyres. Doesn't make any sense to me, but then again, go with whatever you want to. I'm not judging you. I'm normally B-Tech in terms of my strategies anyways. These guys clearly got A-levels more than me, but we'll see what happens in this race. Anything can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does, as Murray Walker once said. Reece Linton, though, leading the way. I think we're going to get the safety car in this lap with Justin catching very quickly, so that means we will see, coming on the exit of turn number 12 into 13, the safety car board go in, and therefore Reece Linton would become the virtual Burt Malander. It will happen on the exit around about now, and that is Reece Linton into the VFC procedure now. He's now the virtual safety car and now can slow everyone up until his heart's content. Now, we saw in Baku last night, in the intermediate condition tyres, he was leading under the VFC. And decided to go, very much so, coming out through the final couple of corners. He went early. Is he going to do the same thing here on this restart?
Yeah, let's find out. Does he go early? Does he try and catch the rest of them out by leaving it as late as possible, especially Mubarak? Because Mubarak knows it's a prime time opportunity for OP to gain big points on F7R. Kai Pearson, no, he would not want to count out just yet. Mubarak lined himself up nicely to possibly go for it. At least Linton, who is going to leave it really, really late. When's he going to go? He goes right now. He hasn't caught Mubarak napping. Mubarak has got a really good restart. As he caught something on the start of lap 26. Now Mubarak might go for it. And at turn number 1 here, Reece Linton inviting to the inside line. Mubarak and Reece Linton a wheel to wheel on a safety car restart. Up the inside now because OP Mubarak, he's got the inside line and he's got the lead of the race. Reece Linton not defending harshly. Mubarak leads away.
And everyone else as well. Oh, there's a murder in behind. Erpek Mateo, Ghost King, all caught up in contact. Ghost King's got a 5-second penalty for a collision with Mateo. That was utter murder going on there through turns 2 and 3. Nothing more, nothing less. Louis Valentin there in behind on the back of Harvey, 5th and 6th position as they come through camera shot from Mubarak there leading the way. Got the race start, got the lead. And a fantastic start of that as well. Reece there in second, Kian there in third, Kai there in fourth, then Harvey, Louis Valentin, Ruti, Brandox, Axe, and Tallers top 10. Might not be for long though, because Stonks is right on the back of him. Sends it to the inside line of turn number 10. Oh, and he's too hot on the brakes. That could have been a brilliant move if he didn't lock it up. And that is now Tallers back third. He's into 10th. Stonks there in 11th, and now Gabor's coming at Tom to the inside line, in towards turn number 11. Watch out, there might be contact coming through here, barely rubbing on each other, to be honest. Tom lags ahead of Gabor, now side by side through turn number 12. Aston Martin against Alfa Romeo, hang up to dry there is Gabor. Tom on the inside line, just about holding them off, and that is good driving in the end from both of them. Tom Thuney's into 13, Tom Thuney's into 12, Gabor there in 13, good battling throughout the field, not done with the race lead though. Reece Linton now coming back at Mubarak down the straight towards turn 1.
Yeah, Mubarak now under pressure from Reece Linton behind, and also F1 Esports away thinking about the move. Reece Linton though is gaining and gaining and gaining. No DRS advantage in this lap here. He sticks behind once more with his PSR teammate Kean in behind, and Kai Pearson as well, his actual teammate tonight in 4th place. Harvey though not counted out this battle just yet. He's almost dropping Louis Valentine, who's having to burn a lot of VRS. Harvey has also burned a lot of VRS compared to these guys ahead. Airpick at the back though for S7R. Crucially for OP, we get a massive point with Airpick completely out the points after that collision at turn number 2. FRT Harvey in 5th, Louis Valentine 6th, Rudy Goulet as well, not to count out just yet. Been a fantastic weekend for him so far, starting last in the sprint, now looking to gain some distance in the race. Really well for Team Shizuru. Tom on the other hand down to P13.
Yeah, right down to P13 indeed. It's unlucky for some, it's unlucky for Tom, given his luck in this race right now, and Tom there down in 13, hope to try. Maybe get a penalty remove, maybe as well. Try and eke up the field or inch up the field as we go on as well. But just now on the back of Lou, in the background, the shot that was side by side coming out of turn number 10. They're still side by side, almost in towards turn number 11. Not getting the job done there. Indeed for him. Lou there in 14th, Justin there in 15th. Justin, of course, has been at the back of the field, but is making good ground on that fresh compounder tyre. Fresher than Lou's 4 lap older tyres. Justin on 2 lap tyres. So, and he's Tony Hawk starting riding the outside curb there as I ride on ball with him. Not sure what that was about. It puts him now into place for Grimbos, who's locking up to the brakes. Oh, Gabor makes contact, and that is Grimbos making a mistake. Very late on the brakes, getting too hot, makes the mistake, and now nearly 4 wide and towards turn number 1. What on earth are we seeing here? Keane to the outside line. On the back of Reece Linton, Mubarak right in there as well. And Mubarak retakes the race lead off Reece Linton. Brilliant stuff indeed. Keane now on the back. Kai Pearson now side by side. 3 abreast as they go up towards turn number 4. And his own teammate is blocked in. The Red Bull of Kai blocked in by his own teammate. Mubarak now leads the way. Penultimate lap of the race. There's contact though between himself. Keane has a huge snap of oversteer. They're inside of each other. PG16 as we go through 6 and 7. But Mubarak is ahead. Kai Pearson in 2nd and Keane in 3rd. I think that was just a mistake by himself, and he's had a knock-on effect into the back of Reece Linton.
Yeah, it was Reece Linton and Kai Pearson really close together, but I think Reece tagged the rear right tyre of S7R Keane. It spun around just only slightly. He kept it going straight, luckily, and Keane has not lost out any time compared to the rest. And this is going to be a really insane last lap battle between Opie Mubarak, Kai Pearson, Keane, and Reece Linton, and also FRT Harvey. Louis Valentine, though, has also caught up to Harvey as well. Can be still on a P5 and getting more points for outplayed racing because Keane up in 3rd place currently. Could be a little bit more though as they jump onto the final lap. Mubarak has got to defend from Kai Pearson and Keane and Reece Linton as well. Reece Linton's off the track there, getting a bit of an advantage you could say over FRT Harvey. They'll jump on the final lap here, James. Who is it going to be to take the win? Is it Mubarak? Is it Kai Pearson? Let's all find out for one last time.
Mubarak is so vulnerable running down the straight. Kai Pearson now tucked within the slipstream. Watch out for Keane behind as well. He knows how to win around here. Kai Pearson though to the inside on Mubarak. On board with Keane, on board with this because he goes maybe for the switch back in towards turn 1. Does the Ferrari. The McLaren right in there as well. But Kai Pearson leads through turn 1. Mubarak's going to have the run at him in towards turn 4. But remember, shade DRS zones. He's coming back at him though with that DRS. He managed to get it in towards turn 1. Now around the outside of turn number 4. And Mubarak now hanging around the outside. This would be a brilliant move. He can pull this off. Kai Pearson still side by side with him. Keane right in the mix as well. And Mubarak still can't find a way through. Kai Pearson still leading. Minister of Defence of Bahrain right now he is. Mubarak in 2nd, Keane there in 3rd, Reece Linton there in 4th. There's contact ahead, brings Louis Valentine, Harvey Brando's completely into play as well. But Kai there leads in towards turn number 10, the double left for the final time. Mubarak all over the back of him. Slide there from Kai Pearson, and now Mubarak's on the front foot to the outside line, running down the GP2 pit straight in towards turn number 11. The Ferrari now ahead of the Red Bull. Brilliant stuff by Mubarak. Kai Pearson there in 2nd, but he's still vulnerable. Kai with that, Keane, sorry, with that ERS damage, ERS down. Kai Pearson's got his ERS down. Has Mubarak done enough? He's coming through now, the right-hander. Thomas spun in the back end through turn number 11. Nobody will really care about that. Somebody does care, though, about this race win, because it's still going on. Down in towards the right-hander. There's cars off track and behind Brandox and Harvey fighting side by side. Mubarak, though, can he do it for Outplayed Racing? They're going to return to victory, surely. Kai Pearson's running at him to the line. Mubarak wins in Bahrain. Kai Pearson in second. Kian there in third. Brilliant end to that race. Reese Linton in fourth. Louis Valentine in fifth. And in the end, Mubarak held the nerve, held the mentality. Brilliant win from him. Absolutely deserving. OP back on top.
What a race ending that was. Kai Pearson kept it so close all the way through the final sector, but Mubarak held his nerve. The Swiss driver, what a drive from him. Fair play, big man. That is one way to win a race. And I tell you what, OP returned to the top step once again. That three in a row at the start of the season, well, make that 4 wins now for them. A fantastic race win in Bahrain. Kai Pearson as well, doing his very best. The chat is absolutely loving the fact that Mubarak has finally done it. For Outplayed Racing. You can see that Kai Pearson second, Reese Linton confirming that 2-3 for 2B announced. Kian in fourth, OP Louis Valentine there in 5th place as well. What a race it was for those guys. Kian in third, sorry, Reese Linton in fourth, OP Louis Valentine in 5th place. Brandox ended up getting F40 Harvey over the line to come in 7th place. What a race ending it was for everyone there. I tell you what, OP have had a fantastic points on 28 points overall. For Mubarak, 16 points for Louis Valentine, 90 for Kian, and only 5 for Airpex. So really a good weekend for Outplayed Racing.
Yeah, the champagne flows for Outplayed Racing at the top step of the podium. It is Mubarak who takes the race win. He actually takes, as well on the weekend, 28 points. Of course, that is different in Legacy Division, so those points that you see on your screen is different. We'll do the maths, I'm sure, very quickly to try and give you some sense and some resemblance of what happened at the end of that race. But here are the results for the race. A 10th and a half. Kai Pearson, if that straight was a little bit longer, I think he would have got him. Mubarak there, the Swiss man, comes out on top. From Pearson there in second. Kian there in third. Filling out the top 3 and only 5 tenths of a second covering that. Then Reese in 4th, Louis Valentine in 5th, Brandox, Harvey, Ruti, Axe and Gabor top 10, Tales, Stonks, Lou, Justin Mateo top 15, Grimbo, Zerpek, Ghost King, Tom, and then the DNF of Kart Racer there, down in 20th position, causing that safety car, causing all of the drama that we've seen. Fastest lap, by the way, went to Urpek as well, because he's out the top 15. Don't think he actually gets the fastest lap point, so that is unfortunate. Not an extra potential point there for F7R. What a phenomenal ending that is. Mubarak has been knocking on the door in AEC. He finished second in China, knocking on the door in other events. Now he takes the race win for Outplayed Racing. Outplayed Racing back on top. Mubarak back on top. Well deserved in the end.
Yeah, really well deserved in the end by OP Mubarak. Fair play to everyone in that race. It was overall pretty clean from the majority of the grid. I'm sure you would agree with me on that aspect. But yeah, overall, everyone had a fantastic race. Mubarak, I'm sure, will be absolutely buzzing. I know he was happy with his pole lap in EOR. Now he'll definitely be happy with the win in the WOR Legacy Division, helping Outplayed Racing towards that massive prize pool in the end. Canada next week, though, James. What do we expect from that race?
A definite 2-stop strategy, put it that way. Maybe even a 3-stop, I've heard, on this game for Canada at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Of course, we'll be taking you through on Halloween. I'm going to get my mask on next week as well. Not that I've already got one on anyways, but Canada is for next week. It is in Maple Leaf Country as well in Canada. Beautiful scenery there as well. And yeah, I'm honestly really excited for it. I think Canada is going to be one of those races where we see the overtaking, we see some good racing as well. In terms of the standards, hopefully it picks up once again from Bahrain. That, in the end, was a very good race, I think. Overall, certainly in the feature race rather than the sprint, in terms of the overall driving standards. But Canada, though, next week on Halloween, going to be very interesting indeed. And I would not be surprised, honestly, if F7R do not come back on the hunt. They've got to try and find some advantage ahead of OP. OP got the spoils tonight in Bahrain. They haven't won the war just yet, though, in Legacy Division. Canada round 10, then the final break week, of course, and transfer window. And then we've got Netherlands, Japan, Abu Dhabi, Brazil, and Las Vegas to end off the season as well. But yeah, Canada's going to be an interesting one. On Halloween as well, hopefully there are no more ghouls rather than ghosts out on track either.
I really hope so as well. But I'm sure this was another enjoyable for you all this week. Again, I'm very happy to still be on comms this week, and hopefully I'll be there next week as well, because I tell you what, this transfer window coming up couldn't have came at a better time, where really It's crunch time for F7R. They've got to bounce back and hopefully could maybe steal a 1-2.
Yeah, maybe even Steel 1-2. Indeed, it's going to be very fascinating. You'll have to tune in and find out, of course, next week. If you want more, of course, of Legacy Division, you can tune in next week. This time, same place, next week, 7:15 p.m. UK time for Legacy Division Canada for round number 10 of the championship. Going to be very interesting indeed. We'll get the points, I'm sure, up as well on social media. You can follow on Twitter at WOR League, of course, reveling in their success from last night over PSGL. You can also have a look at all of our sponsors, of course, GridFinder and Next Level Racing. You'll see the adverts once again for them in just a second. And you can find the partners, of course, in there. All the description, or everything is in the description below, including the standings as well. So if you do not want to wait until everything gets released, you can have a look at the standings and have a look on there in terms of the positions out on track, and maybe find out a few facts as well about the drivers out on track. But that was phenomenal. We're going to end it off here. Thank you so much to Ross Greenhorn for joining me in the commentary box, of course. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure. If you like the stream, like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new to the channel. We are going to leave you with our partners, of course, Next Level Racing and GridFinder. But until next week in Halloween, in Canada, on Halloween, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, goodbye.